All right, man. For me, what we've all been waiting for. We got WNBA draft, live reaction, man. Let's watch this.
The bright lights of New York
Now, I ain't
City
gonna
are
lie.
shining down on the orange carpet tonight as the New
My
York Stars, the
I got my orange on, my pink on for the female. I ain't gonna lie though. I'm not finna watch this whole hour and 30-minute video. I'm just keep it so smooth. So we're gonna watch a little bit of the start, but we're gonna speed past a couple of this shit.
WNBA
My
get
watch
set to
time
hear
ain't
their
that
names
that
called
long,
at the
bro.
2026 WNBA draft in the Big Apple. Many of the names heard tonight will
We are
sound familiar. A few of
talking,
them just won a national
already
championship
talking too much.
just over a week ago with the UCLA Bruins. Might we see our fam first off the board? Lauren Betts, one of those Bruins to take home
I
the
ain't
national
gonna
championship title. With this team has been so good throughout the year, so too has UConn with AZ Fudd. Might she be one of the first off the board?
I'm
The
gonna,
UCLA Bruins in total in the building tonight. Will they all hear their names in the first round? It's just one of the many storylines, and they do not stop there. It's one of the
I might
strangest draft
skip to
classes
the
that we have seen
damn
as we welcome you to studio here in Bristol, Connecticut.
next
Alongside
thing.
Marie Marino, obviously, and
All
WNBA
right.
All-Star Laser Clarendon. I am Sam Rabbit. We are so grateful to have you with us here on our watch along because we will be watching the entire first round of the draft with you. So please hit us in the comments if you're watching on the ESPN YouTube page. We also have got a lot to get to, right? It's been a busy time in the WNBA. But let's start here, Lasia. Not many people can say that they understand truly what it means to be in the position of these players tonight. You do, having been a first-round draft pick in your own right. What do you remember about your draft night
I'm
experience?
finna
What are your
skip this
players
shit.
Yeah, I was here in Connecticut.
I'm gonna be
13
so
when the draft was
honest.
on campus, so one, it's just surreal is the feeling that and I still feel that I'm here today, right? Like these people, these players have worked their entire lives to get to this moment.
You know what?
You have those jitters, those where am I going to go, right? There's no clear number one pick. You're like, where's my future? Actually, I'm watching it on this board with this commissioner who comes out. I remember sitting there being like, am I going to go to Seattle because I love Sue Bird? I wanted to go there. That's the number 8 pick. I went number 9, and so there's a lot of gratitude, jitters, and just pure. I think it's hard to sink in. Like I hope they take that deep breath to really settle their system and enjoy the moment.
Well, obviously a dream is coming true for these draftees, and you experience that part. But how much is that excitement amplified, do you think, by this new pay scale that we're seeing in the WNBA now?
Just like a little bit.
Be
You
around.
see a picture of me wearing my Banana Republic,
God.
jacket.
The Wings are taking.
Together.
All right.
Uh-oh,
Here we
pick
go.
it in.
The pick.
Wait, hold on, listen.
But is a number.
They can
Whoa, wait.
There's only one basketball to go around, so.
All right, all right, nigga. Y'all lock in. We get into the important shit now. All that other chatting shit, it's not gonna work. All right, go. This the order now, mind you. I did a little research. They only have 36 rounds in the WNBA because they only got 12 teams. Yeah, because some of these teams I think are on here twice. So yeah, it's there's only 12 teams in WNBA, and I think they had like 15 players drafted. Some shit like this. So it's only 36 rounds. But so the Wings first, then Lynx, Storm. I'm not reading all that, bro. I'm not sure teacher. But let's get to the point though.
With Arike Agumawale, Paige
Let's get to the point. Let's see.
and
Come
Olivia
on.
Miles, who
I'm
all
ready.
like to have the ball in their
I'm
hands.
ready.
But it could liken the back-to-back aces champs, right? With Plum, with
Oh,
Chelsea
bro.
Gray,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
Jackie
Yeah.
Young. That
Gotcha.
Get
I
to the
do
point,
think,
Sean.
AZ Fudd is
God damn.
another player that you're going to
Sure.
see and that you see on a lot of mock drafts, including
Third
the
number one
ESPN
pick.
mock. And
Paige?
this is so curious to me, just the dynamic, right? Paige Beckers, AZ Fudd, they obviously won a national title
That's
together.
right,
They
number one
know
pick.
how to play together. Uh-oh,
Okay.
pick is in.
The
Come on, come on.
pick is in.
Who is it?
Kathy Engelbert at the podium right now, announcing who the Dallas Wings
Oh, I think you
are
will get
taking with the
copyrighted.
number 1 overall
Ooh,
pick
Uzi.
in the WNBA draft.
Number 1.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
AZ Fudd.
What y'all think about that?
Fudd,
AZ?
He
so
is going to be going to Dallas. So Maria,
that segued nicely.
Okay, okay.
you called it.
By the way, it looks like she had a fit change. She's looking gorgeous
Why not?
tonight. But wow,
Thoughts? What do we think?
wow.
But why can't?
You know, like I was saying, the reunion
It is
between
nice.
teammates that play together, and I know
Let's see the
there
highlights.
is a talking point as well
Let's see the
about
highlights.
their relationship beyond just being teammates.
Oh, I
But
kind of
don't
wanted to
think that's
watch like the
primary. I think the
actual.
primary thing
press
is they know
conference.
how to play together. They're
I might
both
watch the
smart
press
players,
conference tomorrow.
and they have chemistry on the court. Period. And AZ, it's kind of a safe
Oh,
pick
me?
in my opinion, just because you're always going to need a shooter, and there's no one better at shooting the rock than AZ Fudd.
She makes
Mm.
open shots. And
Yes.
who can get her open shots? Paige Beckers, right?
100%.
And we've seen
Okay.
what Arike has done in her playmaking ability, right?
Okay, so it's gonna be
Throughout
with
her career,
Paige?
There was times where she didn't trust her teammates. And I
17
thought the
points per
biggest plus
game.
for her this season was the way her
48
and Paige
field
were
goal
able to build trust.
percentage.
Paige always had her back in the media. Arike would pass the ball to her. So I
Okay,
think
so they have
you
friends.
don't
They
need another
friends
ball
and shit like
dominant
that.
person, although I wanted Olivia to go there. I'm really happy
Yes.
for AZ Fudd because she's going to knock down open shots.
Right.
And when watching
Who is this?
UConn
That's
in
Olivia?
the national championship game,
Oh, you're talking about
they
Olivia
missed
Miles.
Paige
Oh, yes.
Beckers, right?
Oh, yes.
AZ had to carry too much of the load. Sarah
Right.
Strong was trying to, they're not the kind of heady, calm leader the way Paige Beckers is,
Right.
right? She's that player like Diana Taurasi. When they're on the court, you're like, oh, we're good, we're going to win.
Diana?
Because they have that ability to just settle everyone.
Right, and I know, like, AZ's career didn't end the way that she wanted it to, obviously, but I think we also need to remember
Wow, bro.
just how intense the pressure is to win at UConn,
Yo.
to the point where it's almost a relief when you get to the WNBA, which is kind of
I ain't gonna lie.
crazy to say, but truly, I covered UConn closely, including AZ and Paige.
I'm gonna keep it
while they
smooth
were
with you.
there, and seen it up close, and I just feel like there's almost like a freedom when you're okay now.
This is
it's
all
a fresh
one
start.
thing.
I think if Paige was asked about like how she's gonna be this year, and she's like, I hope we win more than 10 games.
Well,
Yeah,
nigga, what
exactly.
She knows.
So you mean tell me this video is almost
Yeah,
2
the
hours and
sky's
there's only
the limit
3
for
picks?
Dallas. Now AZ Fudd heading to the DFW. It is the first time that consecutive number 1 overall picks went to the same college and were drafted by the same franchise. So we do have some history
Yeah, they stood
getting
that.
made there in Dallas. In other sports, the number 1 overall pick doesn't always work out. In the WNBA, there has been a direct link to the number 1 overall pick and championships. When you look at it, the number 1 overall pick has combined for 43 championships, 15 MVPs, 145 All-Star selections.
Whoa.
So
Yes, and I like how I think that the WNBA is almost a more pure form of the system that the NBA has, in that this is the way it's
What are you
designed
talking
for.
about?
It's designed for competitive balance, where you're a bad team,
Jalen
you get a top
Clark?
pick, and then you
Hey.
become competitive, and then the cycle kind of regurgitates. We're not seeing that in the NBA right now. We're seeing a lot of tanking
Yeah.
and all that, but we
Rookie of the
also
year?
see back-to-back picks, a history of back-to-back number 1 picks. I think of Vegas, I think of Seattle, like that have ended up winning championships, and it just makes you wonder, could the Fever be up next? Could Dallas down the road be
What y'all
able to
think, bro?
secure a championship because of these back-to-back number 1 picks?
Dallas has had so much coaching turnover and change these last few years. Like,
good point.
Arike Ogunbowale has not gotten to play in a really sound system, right? She's such a talented player, and I feel like she's got a bad rap over the years about being a selfish player who shoots too much, and that's why I'm really proud of her growth in this last year with Paige, because it matters who you play with, who you're coached by, what system you're in, and so her actually having some steadiness around her, right? Like, I'm curious to see what this Dallas squad can do with a coach also who could really set the stage.
Right, Jose Fernandez coming in from the college level. But how about, can we talk about this roster? We're still wrapping our head around the free agent additions, but Paige Beckers was in a good mood. You can see on her Instagram story, she's in the pool, she's living her best life, she's in the sunshine. Why? Because obviously Arike back. Signed Jessica Shepard,
Yes.
Alana Smith. And then, re-signed Awakwir, Lee Yuru, Grace Berger. But
Well, I know
I
Alana
think those
Smith.
two in particular, Jess Shepard and Alana Smith, you're talking about two players that were effectively on the best team in the league last year and played well and performed well. And the compete level has got to be different this year for Dallas.
Did the acquisition of Alana Smith indicate a little bit that Dallas was maybe not going to go with Fam at the number 1 spot, Elijah?
I think it did, yeah. Because Paige needs someone to play and pick and roll with, right? So we were thinking all off Fam, but Kurt Miller's thinking I could win now with a more seasoned big who was co-defensive player of the year with Asia Wilson last year, who showed she played really well at Unrivaled. Alana Smith down low she's an underrated passer. She can knock down the 3. Jessica Shepard is like her ability to play in the pinch post and her decision making and her passing. She's also an underrated
There she
defender,
goes.
So really smart.
There she goes. There she
Really
goes.
good post players.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
Minnesota Lynx. Shout out to Kurt Miller for that one.
Yeah, working hard over the weekend.
Okay, so Paige was here, entering 17th season as head
And
coach.
to get this
I ain't
done,
worry
so
about that.
again, knowing what
Okay,
you
got
have
the
going
pops
into
in the
draft night
cut.
is helpful.
Highest draft pick by reigning regular season champions. Okay. You said the coach of UConn in there bit too? That's I fuck with this right here.
All right, you're hearing Ryan Rucco there talking about the pick. Kathy Engelbert is back.
So is that killing for?
All right, you're hearing Ryan Rucco there talking about the pick. Kathy Engelbert
Chill.
is back
Chill.
at the podium right now.
What's
announcing
my
the
next?
pick for Minnesota. The Lynx
Who's my
have
next?
the number
Okay.
2 overall pick, despite
Okay,
finishing
okay.
with the best record in the WNBA
They're the
last
best record?
season. They acquired
They got Olivia Miles?
2026 pick.
Olivia Miles.
Gets
Okay.
the call at number 2. Leja's
Okay,
fired up.
okay, okay.
Leja.
Well,
So we got
I
AZ
played for the
Fudd
Lynx.
first.
I loved my year
Yeah,
there. I loved
Olivia
playing
Miles.
with Sylvia Fowles and Nafisa Collier, big Fee fan.
Damn.
Yes.
What was her
the
first
Minnesota Lynx needed a point guard,
Yeah,
right?
Desperately. Yeah.
Desperately. Courtney Williams says it openly. She's not a point guard,
Yeah.
right? She's a
Yeah, I
playmaker,
feel
and she's
that, I
had to
feel
fill
that.
that position. And it showed in key
I'm ready for the
moments when you
WNBA
need a
season,
point
though.
guard to be
I think it's
steady,
like-
to make the decisions. Let Courtney be off
Shit.
the ball, shoot her mid-range
Like
shot.
13
Get a
more
point
days?
guard in there who's so fun to watch.
Yeah, I
I'm
ain't gonna-
liking her to
she got
Chelsea
good. I
Gray
just thought she
showed
got to
in
be a
some
little bit
Get a
more
player
shooter.
out there who knows
Like,
is good and steady, who can score, but also has the pizzazz for the game, right? We're in the entertainment business, right?
Oh,
We want
yeah.
it to be
So I feel like she be passing like a lot.
fun, and that's what I think Olivia Miles brings. Is just look at that.
Yeah, like, look at that pass right here. Look at
it.
it.
And that's what I think Olivia Miles.
This is what you see in 2K right
Is
here.
just look at that, like a fun style of play, and so
And then,
for
like,
the Lynx
no
to
look
get a point
passes.
guard and
See?
Nafisa Collier when she's back healthy. She's got to find Kayla McBride, right? One of the best three-point shooters in the league. Courtney Williams, one of the best mid-range shooters in the league. Like, this Minnesota Lynx lost a couple really key
19 points
pieces,
per game,
but this
7
reloading and
rebounds.
retooling.
Oh, I remember
admit, when
someone
I saw
had.
a couple of those players.
I remember someone in the WNBA had like 11 steals a game. I don't know who it was
Alana
though.
Smith and Jessica Shepard.
I think they're in this
It
draft.
did make me second guess, like, oh,
Sure.
might they go
Yeah.
big? But my initial thought
Tristan?
when they lost Natisha
140.
Heidemann to the Seattle Storm, who was a fantastic person off the bench for them. I mean, she had a phenomenal season last year, and so
Tremendous.
immediately I thought, oh, that might be good for Olivia Miles,
Wait, who?
who was a fantastic when they lost Natisha Heidemann to the Seattle Storm, who was
I was trying to see if
fantastic,
she was on here.
person off the bench for them. I mean, she had a phenomenal season last year, and so
Tremendous.
immediately I thought, oh, that might be good for Olivia Miles to kind of slot in there. I mean, do you see her in the starting lineup, or do you see, because originally, it's funny, I forget, like, Courtney Williams, they played so well, even with her in that point guard spot, so I kind of wasn't even thinking starting PG. I was just thinking, oh, come on, be like the Natisha Heidemann of last year. But
I think starting PG, and Cheryl Reeves is one of the best coaches at like the board to the court. Like her synergy between her point guard, like she makes you better on the court. So I think, yes, Courtney Williams, it didn't show until key moments, right? We're talking like the nitty gritty, the difference between winning a championship
it's not bad. It's
and
not
winning one.
It's not as bad as I thought.
Those little subtle choices that don't always show up in the stat sheet. Some of the turnovers did show up in key points. So I see her stepping in and developing in that starting line.
Olivia talking with Holly Rowe right now in New York City. By the way, we are hoping to talk with Olivia Miles, the #2 overall pick in the draft, later on in our show. So stick around for that. We'll hopefully hear from the new Minnesota Lynx player. Let's take a look at some of the social media reaction that we have coming in on this pick from the X-Mobile, the X-Machine, whatever you want to call it. Minnesota Lynx got the best player in the draft. Fee and Olivia Miles is going to be insane. Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, you're right, Liz. But like, she has an innate ability to see the floor in ways that not many other players in this draft or players in the league really can do. How do you see the Fee Olivia Miles combo work?
Oh my God,
Beautiful.
I see it.
Just
Yes,
beautiful
being
ball.
pure poetry. And there's been a point guard drain the last few years, right? There's been like a lack of like who's taking over those Sue Bird, that next generation, the Breon Januaries, the myself, the Jazz Thomases, right? These people have all retired. Like we got old, we're out of here. So, like, who's coming up next? You've got like the Paige Beckers, you still got the Chelseas.
I didn't know they had a
Who's that
WNBA
next
like
generation
retirement.
of talent.
Not
And
retirement,
Olivia
but like
Miles
Hall of
is
Fame.
absolutely that one. So Nafisa Collier can do it all. We've seen, and then you put Olivia who can get her the ball on time and space.
Wait, is that Isaiah Colliers like sister?
And then Kayla McBride spacing the floor, and Courtney, it's dangerous.
So Olivia Miles has talked about how staying an extra year, going to TCU, it actually helped her confidence, which was funny to me because I was like, oh, she was not, like she needed more confidence, okay. But the area where she got better was as a scorer, because we do think of her as like this pass first, because that's an amazing skill that she has, those flashy passes, the court vision, but she can score it too. She can fill it up. I mean, she's a rebounding guard as well. She just loves that box score, and of course,
like
you mentioned the
Johnson
entertainment factor and the swagger. The swagger is what I talk about with her, and just how electric she is and fun to watch.
She had 6 triple-doubles this year.
I
mean, that's like absurd.
Did she low-key wipe this off? Y'all see this?
I mean, that's like
oh yeah.
Absurd.
The dazzling point guard, the #2 overall pick after all her success.
Doubt them all.
Yeah, Ryan Rucco talking about Olivia Miles getting picked there. Talk a little bit about some of the moves here in free agency.
Steals per game and blocks per
Some of
game.
the key pieces off that bench last year. Jessica Shepard, as we mentioned, over in Dallas now. Tisha Heidemann off to Seattle on a 2-year deal. Bridget Carlton.
Yeah, we're gonna react to the we're gonna react to the what's it called? Some trades tomorrow for WNBA.
There's a lot of moving pieces here. They did re-sign, like you guys mentioned, Kayla McBride and Courtney Williams. Obviously, those are 2 integral parts into the success there for Minnesota. A few hours later, they announced the signings of Natasha Howard and Nia Coffey as well. Howard on a 2-year, $1.4 million deal. A couple of players to bolster the front court there. I guess the question for Minnesota hasn't really been on the defensive side. They've been tremendous on that side of the ball last year. They were great offensively as well. The health status, I think, of Fee comes into question a little bit here for those who maybe are just rejoining and joining the WNBA after the offseason. It's a little bit up in the air, right? Had surgery on both those ankles in January, expected to miss 4 to 6 months, Leja. How do you kind of go about that? Because we got games coming up here in just a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Right.
Told you.
I mean, Fee is, she's the X factor on the team. It's going to matter absolutely. As Fee goes, this team goes.
Right.
The thing I do know about Cheryl Reeves is Cheryl Reeves is a good coach, and she has great systems. So she finds ways to be competitive regardless. She's going to one of the hardest coaches I've ever played for in terms of like, I'm thinking about Olivia Miles, like she's gonna be like, get up and defend, like that's
Right.
gonna be a growth area. Like she'd be like, Elijah, like don't be backpedaling towards the 3-point line, get up and guard at half court. And so that's one thing I know about
Half
her.
court?
She's gonna find a way
Whoa,
to be
fam.
competitive. They did keep
Oh,
Dorothy
half.
Duhas
Oh,
as
half court.
well.
Okay.
I think getting Natasha
Other
Howard
full
back is
court.
another veteran anchor who can score and right maybe feel that might have been a signing because of Fee's health status of
Right.
like, oh, we need that other player
For
who
true.
she's a WNBA champion, right? She knows how to win. She's been in this league for years. I think that was a key tell.
I think we have to give Cheryl Reeve credit as a GM as well,
All right,
because
Right.
she, as a coach and a leader of this franchise,
All right.
lottery picks don't come around often because they're always so competitive. So the fact that
Please
this
go
trade that was made back in
Put it back to
2024,
normal speed
to swap
when they
26
closer
first
to
rounders with the Chicago
the
Sky,
next pitch.
that is now coming around to help so much. The fact that you're getting a
It's
team
not
of
a
this
problem.
caliber with Olivia Miles, knowing that your franchise player Nafisa Collier.
Why did they make this video so long? They could have just.
brilliant closing the loop there.
What's
Like-
the third overall pick here in the WNBA
Oh,
draft?
shoot. They ready? They ready? Hold on. I wasn't ready. Hold on. All right, third peak.
For those who are just joining us, by the way, AZ Fudd going number 1 to
Third peak.
Dallas.
Let's go.
Olivia Miles just selected as the number 2 overall
Let's see his
pick
third peak.
to Minnesota. The Seattle Storm have the third pick.
Lauren
That
Best, Lauren
is
Best, watch.
in.
It
The
is.
top 5 scorers for the Seattle Storm are no longer on this team. They
Damn.
are gone. So this is going to be an interesting pick.
Where'd they go?
And the Commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, going
Ooh,
back
I'm
to the
so
podium
curious
now.
which
Come on,
way they go,
Kathy.
yeah.
Come on, Kathy. Who is
Where
it?
Big or
they-
versatile.
Let's see where they
Reverend
go with
Johnson?
this third overall pick. Awa Pham is still
It's gonna be a
up
guard.
there on the board.
Point guard.
19-year-old prospect. And indeed,
Damn,
that is
it was a
where
point
they
guard. I
go
told
with
y'all.
Awa. So
I don't
a
remember
lot
her.
of
I
the
gotta screw
discourse and
her.
conversation was whether or not Awa Pham would be the number 1 overall pick this year. We at ESPN at the .com.
Yeah, 'cause it says she was number
Awa
1
up
when you
there
looked at
as
the,
recently as a couple of days ago, right? And
order.
now she falls to number 3 for Seattle. Thoughts on this pick, Maria?
What's your thoughts? What's your
Yeah,
thoughts?
so
Oh, I remember
Seattle is no stranger
She's a
to
center in Spain.
drafting a 19-year-old. They did it last year.
Yeah, I
with
remember they
Melanie
said that.
Malanga.
Yeah.
And can I just
They were like,
say,
she
you know,
turns 20 in a
everyone will
couple
talk
days,
about
something like that.
how Awa Pham has the most upside, and I totally agree.
Y'all think she better than Lauren
I think
Best?
we'll take it a step further. She can help this team win this year.
Okay.
We saw it last postseason
We got
with Dom.
physicality.
She helped Seattle in the postseason, guarding Asia Wilson with her size, and so I think we could see something similar with Awa Pham, where she actually is an impact and not just a project. But what I noticed when I
What's
just
she mean?
watched some film on her, can play back to
Yeah,
the
she was
basket,
15,
but also
youngest
shoot
to ever play for a
threes. I
team.
mean, that, you know what? That's like the unicorn
She can
stuff,
shoot threes?
of the league today. That's what you look for. The bigs who can shoot threes. She's got the
I was gonna
quickness
say that.
as well. So
I was gonna say if she could shoot 3, they could win
I'm just
easily.
extremely excited to see what this player becomes.
She turned pro at 15, right? So I mean,
Yeah.
this is nothing new to her.
Yep.
But yeah, what are your thoughts on the pick?
Yeah, you've got, I'm like looking back because I'm like, they've got Ezzy Magmagor, they've
Yeah.
got
Yep.
Dominique Malanga, and you add Awa Pham, like
Yes.
that level of post rotation for Seattle, who lost, as we mentioned, so many of their unrestricted free agents.
Yes.
There was a talent drain, and so you're looking at Seattle like, how are they going to retool? And I'm really curious for Sonia Rahman of like how in her first season we saw Coach Nakase have a clear identity with her squad, a very clear, like even when I was covering the Valkyries last year, at moments I'd be like, wow, they shoot a lot of threes. Like I had questions, like everybody had questions at times, but she stuck to her system. And so that's what I'm curious with all these new head coaches of like, do they have a clear system
Right.
from day one of like what they're trying to do? What does their culture look like? And I'm grateful for her to get some players, some talent, right? You would hate for a first-year head coach to come in and then what are they actually working with from in terms of like the players on the roster? So I think these 3 rotations post players are going to be really good, and then getting Letitia Heidemann there, right? Your backup point, your point guard spot with Letitia Heidemann losing Skylar Diggs, like that's a big loss to Skylar. Those are big shoes to fill, right?
Yeah.
For Letitia Heidemann, but who now gets to step into potentially a starting role
That's a
for
national
the first
play.
real time in her career. How does she step up to the mark?
That's what I'm anticipating as well. They also signed Jade Melvin, so that could be a potential guard help. And then
Very young, also they love the young.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, very young. And then Katie Lou Samuelson on the wing, and then Steph Dolson as a big, who's a vet, who's won before. So it's rounding out into form. But this was definitely one of the teams that has had the most turnaround, if you will, with their roster. So this is interesting. And you know, I hate to have to bring it up, but Sonia Rahman, being a woman, getting an opportunity to coach at the W level, it's been a trend that has kind of gone in a weird direction, just because we've seen the pipeline of coaches more recently coming a lot from NBA ranks. And Sonia has NBA experience for sure, but you know, you just want to see her succeed, because I feel like we've seen a couple of women head coaches in this league kind of like not get a full like fair shake to really dive in. Like Teresa Weatherspoon comes to
That's
mind.
okay, yeah.
Everyone felt like, why didn't you get another year to round this out? So just kind of rooting for that.
Yep.
And it'll be interesting to see how some of these teams play out this year, because I think when we come to the end of the season, some of these preseason predictions that we had may be drastically different, and that's not abnormal to any season, but for this season in particular, with all the moving pieces, the puzzle is basically, and the plane is being built as we're flying it right now in a lot of ways. But I think it'll be really interesting to see some of these teams who lost a lot of players, whether it be the free agency or the expansion draft, for a team like Seattle, getting all these young players in with a couple of veteran pieces, like it truly feels, it has like a college basketball transfer portal feel to it in a lot of different ways right
Mystique
now.
wasn't that good.
But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Right now, Washington is on the clock. The Mystics have the
Oh shit! Oh shit! Now hold on, baby. Hold on, baby. Oh, we're not editing. Edit this out.
Pick here in the
Good,
first
this is her.
round. They have 3 picks
Oh,
in the
wow.
first round for the second consecutive year. So there has been some debate, some talk as to
Okay,
whether or not
okay,
they'll
okay,
use all
okay,
3 of
okay.
their picks. Do we see trades possibly being made? But
The
obviously,
brothers and
whereas
the
the
dad in the
Storm
cut.
are hoping to build their new foundation in this draft, the Washington Mystics did that last year with 3 of the first 6 picks in the draft. You know, they're back in the lottery again this year. If they use all 3,
Kiki.
it would be tied for the most first-round picks
Okay,
in a
okay.
single team in
Let's
a
see,
2-year
let's see, let's
span.
see this.
Kathy Engler back up
Who number
at
4
the podium to announce
on the podium?
the 4th overall pick to the Washington Mystics. Let's see.
I'm
Kiki.
so excited.
I know.
Damn, Kiki. Lauren
Ah,
Betts.
Lauren Betts.
There
Oof.
she
The
is.
mop of the
Let's
tournament
go.
is heading to
Okay.
Washington.
Pick number
National
4.
champion a couple of weeks ago, and
What y'all
now
think?
on her way
They
to
said Mystique. They wasn't doing that good these last 2 seasons, though, bro.
Mystics, man.
Hopefully they
They
can.
are
I
going
mean,
to be stacked with a lot of
Oh.
young talent,
I
a
know.
lot of really good pieces.
I know.
Maria, go ahead. Thoughts on Lauren Betts heading to DC?
I mean, I think
what are the highlights?
it's a place where she can grow. You talked about some of the great talent they brought in last year, Kiki Iriafen, Sonia Citron. Excited to see, hopefully, Georgia Amore healthy
Ooh,
here
honestly.
at some point. But there you go. You got the 6'7" player who's just a universal mismatch. I think one area
All right.
that
And it's like the WNBA too. It's like there's not that many tall people, so it's like if you just like really, if we're being realistic, India is not a center. Is not gonna be able to guard her,
I
bro.
wonder if she'll expand to.
You know what I'm
She shoots
saying?
Threes. She did not shoot threes in her college career, but
Damn.
shot
She gotta shoot some
62%
threes.
from the field
Mhm.
and averaged 2 blocks per game in her career. And so you're getting a two-way player.
Almost a double-double.
And I was impressed, Leja. I think you'll agree. I feel like I've heard you speak about this.
Yeah.
How she handled the physicality of the NCAA tournament, because again, I'm giving away here. I'm pretty sure I listened to your no off-season pod. You were talking about like the biggest jump from the college to the pros has to do with handling that physicality.
Absolutely. That's something I love to see the growth for Lauren Betts from year 3 to 4 for her junior senior year was when you're coming off a
Oh,
cross
whoa, 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 whoa! Oh shit! Oh shit! Hey, don't mind me, man. Don't mind Zay.
Year 3 to 4 for her
Okay, okay.
junior to senior year was when you're coming off a cross screen, for example, like we're taught to put those
That's
two
her mom.
arms up and like chuck the player coming across. It's called bumping the cutter, right?
Yeah.
And so there's times where she
That's
would fail
Sienna.
or be
Sienna.
frustrated, right? And she's
And then
talked
that's the
openly
coach
about
right here.
learning to deal with the physicality. And so
That's
when I
Sienna.
saw
That's her
her,
sister right here. She's in
against South
college.
Carolina,
And that's her brother.
meet the contact and actually want it and like run through it and draw
Yes.
fouls, that was the difference. And the hardest jump to make to the pro game is the physicality. That's
Physicality?
why it's hard to
Okay,
evaluate
okay.
overseas talent sometimes because the physicality is different. And so for me, seeing her ability to not only handle it but kind
So
of
you
like
just gotta
seek
be
it out, and
physical.
that was a very rough.
I feel that. I
Quick
feel that.
question: physicality, more or less in overseas versus W?
I know, different? Yeah. I feel like they do more like slapping overseas. We do more like
Got
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Heavyweight.
More body type. Got
Heavyweight
it.
bout.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
Shot at least 60% from the field in all six tournament games. Did Lauren Betts. The narrative out there
60%.
of the sort of like declining
Career
value of the
235
traditional
bro.
bigs in the WNBA, I think is a narrative that, you know, it bears true in a certain sense. But Lauren Betts has shown the ability to be a versatile defender and
Yes,
guard
yes.
different positions on the defensive end as well,
Yeah.
which I think really provides value.
That's good too.
When I was looking at a lot of the mock drafts, Washington I saw already, they have size.
Yeah.
But they're not passing up on a player like Lauren Betts if she was available at 4, right?
Right. I totally agree.
Yeah, no, at some point you just take best available, and that's what we're going to start getting into as you get to the midway draft point, is that's what I was
Best
told when I was
available.
drafted in Indiana. They're like, you were best available at number 9. And so Lauren Betts, you absolutely cannot leave her on the table, and she's different than the bigs they have. She's different than Kiki Iriafen. She's different than Shakira Austin.
Yep.
And so she adds that ability to like, all right, we're guarding Brianna Jones is
Yes.
playing, Brittany Griner is playing.
Yeah.
Who's that
Brittany
big
Griner.
body that you can throw at her? And then what she did defensively to protect the rim, we saw,
Yes.
especially in that South Carolina game
Oh.
against the Tanaya Latson
Yeah.
ability. What they did at UConn was get into the paint and attack them. They could not do that against Lauren Betts.
And I
Texas could not do it either.
agreed, but I also think you have to coach to your personnel, and you're not drafting a player if you don't feel confident that you can utilize them properly, which brings me to the news that, just
Damn.
recently here a week ago,
Worst
Washington
win
parting
percentage.
ways with their general manager, Jamila Weidman,
Damn.
citing strategic differences after just one season. So head coach Sydney Johnson taking over those basketball operations. But again, that tells me, he's out there coaching them. So he's going to have a new weapon to play with and figure out how to utilize.
And she's young. She gets to
Oh
develop.
shoot!
You don't
Wait,
see her
wait.
play right now.
Number
There
5.
you go.
All right,
Number 5.
we
Number
don't need a
5.
clock because I mean we are just whipping through picks here. The
Yes.
Chicago Sky
Number
with
5.
the 5th overall pick in
Oh,
the
who y'all think? Who y'all think is
2026
gonna be? Who y'all think?
WNBA draft.
Ooh,
Gabriela
Gabriella.
Hawkins gets her name
Interesting.
called.
Okay,
Maybe
okay.
a little bit earlier than some
Uh,
of the mock
she
drafts
could
would
shoot
have
for
would
sure.
have piled up, but we got
6 foot
back-to-back
tall.
UCLA Bruins in the
Okay.
WNBA draft going 4 and
Yeah,
5.
she
Lot
had
of
like
moving
20
pieces
points.
in Chicago right now.
I
ladies.
love this pick. Well, I don't think they needed Kiki Rice, right? They have Courtney Vandersloot
Yes.
and they have Skylar Diggins. So
Yes.
I
Skylar
love this
Diggins.
pick. I think Hawkes was underrated in this draft potentially. She's one of the best overall players. She's that X factor glue, that similar like Bridget Carlton, right? That kind
Bro,
of player
hers-
where you can just stick her anywhere, right? She can't play the 5, of course, but like she's that player who's
Yeah, I don't
gonna
know.
know the plays. You don't have to
Yeah.
worry
21
about
points,
her
10
motor
rebounds.
is extremely high. She can knock down the 3-point shot. We saw what her cutting ability did throughout the tournament.
Yes.
And her ability
In
to
reverse.
rebound. She single-handedly kept them in games at
I
times.
feel that. I feel that.
I am really excited about
Yeah.
her. I like her a
So
lot.
talk about
So do you think they like evaluate the women's like basketball? You think they evaluate like if they can, certain amount of points they can get a game or not? Because I feel like, 13 points a game is different than like, NBA players getting 20 and 40 and 30,
shining bright when the moment.
But I
and
feel like too,
state-
like it depends on their teammates. Like if they have, like Gabriella, she had Lauren Briss on her team and Kiki Rice. For me, so like I feel like she's less likely to get a lot of points because she has other stars on the team.
are as high as they possibly could be. I mean, how about saying, just being able to tell people, my best game in college was the national championship
was the
game.
last one I played,
Like,
yeah.
And I don't know that for a fact as far as looking at all the stats, but 21 points, 10 rebounds,
There she goes.
5 assists to
That's
just one
another player on the
turnover in the title game. Just an absolute
UCLA. Yeah, that's the
brilliant
coach.
showing by her to
Hey,
secure
shout out to coach, man. She made a lot of good players.
that national championship for UCLA. So, I mean, you're getting
That's like
a
the dad
seasoned
right here,
player. She's
brother.
22 years old. And like you said, Leisure, like just versatile. I think you could
I don't know
play
who
her
that
in a
is,
lot
brother.
of different places.
Okay, someone on the
Fill a
phone.
role for
Okay,
you.
You know what?
wait.
Versatile. I
Is
think
he in
you
the
can
NBA?
plug her in a lot of different.
Ain't he in the NBA? Doesn't he play for like the Heat? I think. Yo, wait, hold on. Gabriella Hawkins' brother. I knew I wasn't tripping. Who was it? Jamie? I fucking told you. He plays on the Heat. Damn, I didn't know that was his sister. I don't know if you can see it. Just search up Jamie Jonquez Jr. He's on the Heat. I knew I wasn't tripping, bro.
You know what I love
I
about
know her brother
Gabriella's
was
game
in the
is
NBA.
in a world in which it's such a transactional game.
Yeah.
Gabriella Hawkes decided to stay at UCLA, but improve different aspects of her game in every single year. One of the more underappreciated parts of her game, I think, is her
All right,
ability
bro.
to get to the offensive.
Oh, it says right here. Oh, shoot. I told y'all, bro. I knew because I remember seeing him when I used to react to the Heat. Well, when I watched the Heat game against the Wizards. That's the only Heat game I watched. But yeah.
She plays bigger than her 6-foot frame, I think. She got so many second chance opportunities.
Shout out my boy Jamie.
I think it's fair to say, correct me if I'm wrong, without Gabriella Hawkes on that team,
or
UCLA
Jaime.
does not win the national championship this year.
I think that's fair to say. I think she was a
Damn.
she needed Lauren Betts, of course, to be, but I thought in that national championship game,
Without
she was
her on
an
the
X
team,
factor.
they would've
What she
lost.
did to get them second chance points and second possessions, it was like a dagger to South Carolina. You could see they were already a bit exhausted from taking down UConn.
Right.
But Gabriella just like, it was like every
they
time.
thought they were gonna have
that
their hands full with like Lauren and whoever, and then here comes Hawkes. And I like the point you made, Sam, about the improvement over the years. And one thing I always look at is, are your shooting percentages
But that's why you need good players on your team so that nobody is double teamed.
getting better when
And it's
your
just one-on-one.
three-point shooting improves as your career goes on? To me, that's a good sign that that's a trend that can continue at the pro level.
Yeah. Last week also, the Chicago Sky, we should talk about this, traded their 2024 first-round pick, Angel Reese, to
There's a lot
Yeah.
of Chicago.
We got draft picks. We got, the plane is being built as we fly. When Reese was drafted, 2
But
years
yeah, I
ago,
did
Chicago,
hear about
I think
that.
those two were
I remember
the
her.
hope and the future of this franchise.
Brandon
This is not
Steele, Skylar
a
Diggins,
trend. Chicago has lost stars.
Ricky
That's just kind of
Jackson.
what
Hold
it
on, wait. I thought Ricky Jackson was. Oh no, never mind.
We'll get to the Chicago conversation. We'll get to Angel Reese. We'll
I thought she was in
Meantime,
college.
let's welcome in the number 2 overall
Remember
pick
that.
in this year's WNBA draft. Olivia Miles joins us now.
Oh shoot, Olivia Miles in the cut. Let's see what Olivia Miles has to say.
Thank you so much for joining us here. Look, I called your very first game at Notre Dame back in 2021 against Syracuse. I will never forget it. Never
Called
forget
it?
hearing
What you mean?
your name called coming into the game, and here you are
Oh.
in the WNBA draft. Tell me your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions as we sit here right now.
I just realized she got a suit on.
Just overwhelmed with gratitude. Also, that's awesome, by the way, because that was my first ever game.
That's right.
So that's pretty cool
Fuck.
that you.
Wait. Hold on, my shit can turn off. Fuck, I should have. I gotta start putting my controller next to me, bro. Alright, we're gonna go back. We gotta go back.
Coming into the game, and here you are in the WNBA draft.
Oh, we got
Tell me
Olivia
your
Miles in the
thoughts,
cut.
Your emotions as we sit here right now.
Just overwhelmed with gratitude. Also, that's awesome, by the way, because that was my first ever game.
That's right.
So that's pretty cool that you got to do that. But no, I'm
He called
overwhelmed with gratitude
Whatever that
and
means.
emotion for
Let's
this
face it.
moment. I can't wait to get to work with the Minnesota Lynx.
Well, along those lines, being drafted to a storied franchise like the Minnesota Lynx with such a legendary coach and all of the titles that they've had in their history, what can you say specifically about, hey, you're going to Minnesota?
What you gotta say?
Yeah, you know, it's a championship culture. When I had my Zoom with them, it was probably my favorite just because of their mindset and the way they lock in and the way they pour into their players. So I'm just very excited to be in that culture and to grow every day and be pushed and be challenged. And Coach Cheryl Reeves is just amazing. So I can't wait to officially meet her and get to work.
Olivia, congrats. Tell us
Okay,
about
okay.
your game, what you think you can bring to the Lynx right away.
Yeah, what you think? What you think?
Yeah, you know,
Hard work.
I love to get my teammates involved, and I love to make my teammates better. I think that's my
That's
greatest
true.
asset.
That's true.
And I can't wait to do so with pro players, and it's only going to be more fun and more intense and more fast-paced. And I feel like I'll thrive in that system. So I can't wait to play with MVP caliber players like Nafisa Collier, and find out who my other teammates are and get to know them and get to play with them as well. But yeah, I'm just really excited, and I can't describe this moment in words.
Olivia, we here at ESPN often don't root for players or individuals. We root for stories. Your story makes it so easy to root for you. Congratulations on tonight, and best of luck going forward. We appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you guys so much. Take care.
Miles.
That's so sweet.
Going to Minnesota. That was pretty cool. I mean,
that was kind of sweet.
Cool.
Yeah.
She has really grown throughout the course of her career, not only as a player on the floor, but I feel like as a leader and somebody that has found her voice on the floor, Leisure. You can talk to that.
Yeah, and I think that at the point guard spot, it's hard to be quiet. It's a position you cannot be quiet at. It's the one that you have to be the person. It's not that you always have to have your voice heard from a lack of being a leader who doesn't understand how to listen sometimes, but as a point guard, you have to be that anchor for your team. And I know Coach Shelby was going to help her grow in that area. So
Wait, we gotta slow it down. Hold on. It look like another chapter about to start.
The growth she's done.
All right, let's slow down. Slow down.
By really good coaches.
Right.
And now we talk about fit and where you go. She's going to be coached by one of the best in the game.
Yes.
Right, who coached
One of the best
Lindsay
coaches.
Whalen, right? We're talking about a WNBA legend in Cheryl Reeve. And so
The owner of the Raptors?
Williams into a point guard.
Right,
apparently.
has done it, right? Like, Cheryl Reeve has kind of figured out how to get to the finals without a true point guard, and now she's going to have a true point guard again.
I feel that.
Okay.
That shit was awkward. No one
I
saw
want
it.
to still digest here because we
didn't
started
even
talking
get
about
Chicago,
Chicago,
yeah.
but we got another pick coming in
Woo!
a second here.
It'll
Let's
be
see, let's
Toronto
see.
Tempo.
I'm ready, I'm ready.
Drafting 6 overall here in this
I'm ready.
draft. The
Yo.
first expansion team that's going to be drafting here, Portland Fire, will draft right after at number 7. But the WNBA
Who's gonna
officially
get?
begins its residency north of the border. I mean, as Canada's first WNBA team, this is really exciting. It's been a long time coming. I think there's been a call to get a WNBA team up in Canada for quite a while. The Tempo won a coin toss, by the way, and opted to pick first in this draft, while Portland picked first in the expansion draft. So that is why Toronto Tempo are picking here.
I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah.
Number 6 overall pick. GM Monica Wright-Rogers made it clear that
Okay, so you got Flage at 1. Then Flage didn't get picked yet. And Kiki
winning
at 2.
immediately is something that is on the minds of this franchise and this team.
I never heard this team.
2-time championship winning head coach Sandy Brondello is going to be leading a roster here. You see the roster on your screen right now.
Yeah, I gotta learn these names. I ain't gonna lie.
Now,
When the season starts.
Leisure, what do you think? Where do we go here as Kathy Engelbert heads up to the podium right now?
Yeah, who you think? Who you think they're gonna
I think
pick?
they might go Flage.
Flage? That's what you think? Okay, let's see. What am I looking at? What's going on?
Let's see where they go with this pick.
Oh, they went Kiki Rice. Nice.
Kiki Rice?
Kiki Rice gets the call.
Okay. Didn't I say that?
Kiki Rice 6 overall to the
They said she was
Toronto
number
Tempo.
2.
We have seen 1, 2, 3. UCLA Bruins taken here
Damn.
in the first 6 picks. Wow, monumental stuff. Kiki Rice.
Isn't that
again one of the
historical?
I would say better athletes that you will see in this draft. Great on-ball defender, obviously. But Leja, thoughts on what the Toronto Tempo will be getting with Kiki Rice?
So has he?
Competitor and a player who has also improved over the years. I think she's improved as a point guard over her time at UCLA. And I love that the Toronto Temple have Julie Alamon, who's a dog, who's a fighter, right at that point guard position. So you're not asking Kiki Rice to step in right away. And I think she's a different style of player than Olivia Miles. And so I think her having that developmental other point guard with the Julie Alamon is going to be really important for her.
Like, realistically, like, all their team, like Gabriella, Lauren Betts, Kiki, they almost all, well, I know Lauren Betts averages 21. But they could almost all, if they were still on the same team, average 20 a game each.
Fit is everything.
I'm saying,
a really good fit.
And I don't know.
And she's also getting coached.
I think the whole UCLA starting lineup is in the draft, so I don't know if what their points per game is.
Veteran Sandy Brondello.
Yeah, totally. And I think with Kiki Rice, I just feel like she's already a pro, basically, and that's something I think we keep kind of forgetting when you think about the state of the college game, right? The fact that they've been earning money with NIL and these other things, having the transfer portal. Kiki Rice is someone that has come into her own in that era, and Corey Close has talked about just her leadership and sort of ushering her teammates through this era, and she's grown as a leader. She's handled the spotlight, and she's also gotten better each year on the court. And so Kiki Rice, I think, will continue to be a great pro. Now she's just doing it in the WNBA as opposed to the college game.
And that can be a big jump for players, right, who don't understand, who don't have pro-level habits and what those actually are, right?
What that mean?
Extra early to do your PT work, right, before you even have an injury. Because at the point when the season is so grueling, you play so many games, the schedule, a lot of rookie players, they hit the wall at some point in the halfway. It's kind of usually after the all-star mark. Because
that's why I'm surprised, like, they don't have them go through, like, WNBA training before they get to WNBA. You know what I'm saying? So that way their body will get used to it. Like, maybe, like, after. Because I know it's, like, a couple of days from, like, when they play the championship. So, like, if they aren't in the championship, they'll have, like, leading up to the draft, WNBA, like, practices. Like, tempo and shit like that.
The level is different. So to have a player, she's going to
feel.
hit a wall too. Every rookie does it, whether you're Brianna Stewart or, across the board. But for her to already know how to be a pro, to come from the culture of UCLA with Corey Close, who's already that selfless culture, that giving to the next person, to know how to show up, do the little things, and be a competitor, that stuff matters. Those are those little intangibles that don't show up in the stat sheet, but they're the reason why you get drafted that high, or the reason you stay on a roster.
A lot of people forget the injury that she went through, Kiki, with the offseason surgery, right, with shoulder. And she said, too, that while she was unable to practice with a physical basketball in her hand, she was able to work on so many other things, whether it be her footwork.
Oh, shoot. I might just do 125.
Extra film sessions with Coach Close and helped her look at the game, I think,
there she
a
goes.
different lens. So that'll be really
there she goes, y'all.
how things
Wait,
come together.
I think there might be, like, some of them that is there, they might be boyfriends, too.
They're there in Toronto.
That we're seeing. Like, I don't think they're all, like, siblings.
Bigger questions for some of these expansion
This
teams.
might be a boyfriend.
How were they going to navigate free agency?
Possibly.
Obviously, you want to make a big splash. Both Portland and Toronto have been,
I
would say, relatively quiet, but we were talking before the show, and
there go,
point, like,
what's it called? Fly J right here.
Relatively quiet, but we were talking before the show, and Liz, you made a good point. Like, free agents want to go
to
places where sometimes there's a little bit more of established, proven track record, right?
I think you look across and you're like, do I want to win now, or do I think with this much money, I was a little bit surprised they weren't able to land a bigger fish. But you look back at the Valkyries, and people questioned that expansion draft of, like, what are they doing? They got some foreign players. They got Kayla Thornton, cool. She was on, the New York Liberty, but there was a clear path with the competitors they got and the style of players. Oh, I think we're Lauren coming out. All right.
All right.
Lauren Betts, number 4 overall pick.
Lauren Betts.
Okay. Congratulations, Lauren. Thank you so much for taking the time. Congratulations on life. I mean, UCLA Bruins are winning. 3
congratulations on life.
Lauren, let's start with you heading to Washington. What were your initial thoughts, reactions when you heard
the name
called?
Oh my God, I couldn't feel my legs. I was like shaking. My dad was literally like holding me because I couldn't breathe, but just so happy. I feel like I've just made a dream come true. So I'm so thankful for everyone that's helped me get to this place. I wouldn't be here without them, but yeah, this is very surreal.
Lauren, can you talk? I've been praising your physicality and the jump you've made into this last year in your season of handling all the pressure and the physicality. How has that prepared you for the WNBA, and how did you improve on that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like every single game is just trying to be consistent and trying to, work on the things that I know that I'm going to have to use in the W moving forward. And I feel like, our conference did a really good job of preparing me for that. The tournament did that. And, just continuing to stick to my game, using my dominant presence inside, working really hard on both ends of the floor. But I'm really excited to just contribute in any way that I can for this new team.
Oh yeah, I think it's easier for like centers to be like more consistent in the NBA, in WNBA too,
Lauren,
than
you just
guards.
saw a couple of your teammates also get drafted, Gabriella, Kiki. I mean, what does it say about your team at UCLA that you have such a presence at the draft tonight, and how does it make you feel just seeing, your sisters also have their dreams come true tonight?
Man, I am like, it literally could make me cry. I'm so happy for them.
Aww.
They worked so hard.
That's
I
so
mean, it's
sweet.
like seeing your family get drafted out there, and I'm just so proud of both of them. Everyone deserves every little piece of this. We've worked so hard. I know their journeys to get here, and yeah, I just can't wait to see the rest of them get drafted. I'm literally just going to be on the lookout to make sure I hear everyone's
Yeah,
names. But
there's
yeah,
two more
I'm just
people.
so happy.
Well, no one school has ever had 5 players taken in the first round. UCLA might be the first to do that. Lauren Betts, congratulations. Thank you so much for taking the time. Best of luck going forward.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
That joint delayed.
All right, so while we were talking
All right.
with Lauren Betts,
Who
who was
next?
kind enough to join us, we did have another pick come in. It is Ayana Martin coming as the 7th overall pick to the Portland Fire. Just turned 20, by the way, back in January. Was part of a Spanish team that advanced to the Eurobasket.
I think I watched the
Championship game
Spanish
last
team.
summer. Was named the 2025 EuroLeague Player of the Year, which I think really shot her name up.
Then they play USA, didn't they?
What are the Portland Fire getting in Martin?
Well, I think it's just important to note the international trend that we're seeing, and it's no surprise to me that they're going this route, and we saw a similar route taken by the expansion team last year, Golden State, and having a lot of success with international players. And so I think it's kind of cool that we're seeing someone a little bit out of the box. We're probably, I'll be honest, I'm not as familiar.
Wait, what is the expansion team like? What does that mean?
As far as the prospects that we maybe expect from the college game in the U.S., but these international players, they're coming in extremely skilled. We've talked about.
Oh wait, I think expansion is like other like countries maybe. You know what I'm saying? So like Spanish. I forgot the other one, but what? Yeah, because it said Spain too. Yeah, I think expansion is like the players are not in the college.
They play from a young age and at a professional level, oftentimes.
Yep. What I like about her game is, one, she's a lefty, love lefty, Skylar Diggins, but she plays in pick and roll a ton, and that's one of the things Europeans really translate well.
It's going to skip into their shoulder. Oh, shit, hold on. I thought it was going to show her, I don't think she's there.
You're getting cut off.
I know. Take it up with Kathy, man. I mean, we're just rolling through Golden
But they got
State
another
Warriors on the clock. They have the 8th overall pick here in the draft. Let's see who they decide to go with.
There you go. There you go.
That's Laser's backyard. Laser's backyard. All right, so
okay.
Look,
Flajay,
tremendously successful career there at LSU.
I think they made history. Her freshman year.
Had Flaw going a little bit earlier, Laser, but what do you make of Golden State now on the heels of an incredibly successful season, bringing in one of the most successful college players in history?
I will say it over and over again, fit is everything. So I'm so happy for Flajay Johnson to be with Coach Nakasa in a really good system, right?
Okay. 3rd straight draft for LSU picked in the 1st round. Got Angel Reese and Anisha.
He's going to get coached extremely well, and that affects the trajectory of your career. I love, for one, her showmanship. I love that she knows how to perform in the bright lights, right? This isn't a player who's going to come into the league and be surprised by how bright it is, right? She likes the big moment, so I love that just from a marketing perspective that Flajay is going to be in the Bay. It's such a great market in California.
We already know she looks good in purple.
Oh, Flajay and Curry.
It's all good. But what I love about her game, right, is that 39% from 3 this year, right? That's the big thing about, but then she can get downhill. So a player who can space the floor, we know Coach Nakase loves to shoot the 3.
Step back 3.
When you add her downhill ability, that in transition is scary. And that was a growth for the Valkyries last year. They didn't quite, Veronica Burton did it the best she could. But they didn't have that saucy player who's just gonna
I remember
go
number
get a
2.
bucket
I seen her
one-on-one, and
yesterday.
that's what Flau'jae Johnson brings.
I
I'm
remember
really glad
2.
that you brought up the coach and Natalie in a
All right,
conversation.
so far, what y'all think of it so far, man? We got, I think 6 more picks. So we got Ozzy first, then Olivia Miles, Awa, then Lauren, Gabriella, Kiki, Ayana, Flau'jae.
Because
All
I
right,
do think it's going to be
that's
important for Flau'jae to
we
get a
got 2
coach
more
that
people
can
into
really
the
level
top
with
10.
her and connect with her. When you look at her career arc
What y'all
at
think,
LSU,
man?
Flau'jae, it's kind of interesting because like her scoring actually.
I think a lot. I feel like I'm gonna be honest. Like I would have thought Flau'jae would probably be top 5. Like maybe switch these two right here. But I did like Gabriella did go crazy though. I ain't gonna lie.
Dipped
Yep.
from
And
junior
but
year to senior year.
I just feel like she like would have had a lot more if she was on a team that didn't have a lot of stars. But it says 1-6 LSU players surpassed 2,000 points.
Junior year, she was averaging
Okay,
over 18 points per game. But as you
18
noted,
points.
Leja, like clear athletic ability, explosiveness, crafty finishes.
LSU did have a
I
good
just
team
do
too though.
think she can be
Jada,
a really nice weapon that can be utilized in
Flew
an
Wiley, I
interesting
think too,
way.
right?
And let's not forget too, even though she was a
That's all I
freshman
know. I
during
ain't
that
watching.
national championship, she contributed. She was a
Yeah.
key factor in LSU winning that title a few
Yeah,
years ago.
No
this
doubt
is she
about
was
it.
freshman of the year.
So with the 8th overall pick, Flau'jae Johnson heading out to the Bay Area.
Yeah. Oh, I had to.
Gabriela Jaquez is going to join us momentarily. She's getting mic'd
Gabriella,
up right now. She's
let's
going
go.
to the Chicago Sky. Right now, the Washington Mystics are on the clock. Let's bring in
But where the dream?
Gabriela Jaquez,
Oh,
just taken in the WNBA draft, 5th overall.
he's gonna talk
Gabby,
about her
we saw
brother.
your face. You looked incredibly shocked. But here you were with a lot of your teammates from UCLA. Talk about the feelings, the emotions that
She
you
nervous?
have right now.
Why she keep?
Yeah, just
Someone's got picked.
one thing though. I don't go by Gabby. Gabriella's good, but I'm just
Oh.
really excited to be in the WNBA and just have an opportunity to play in one of the best leagues. And I think this year is really monumental for the league. I mean, 30 years, new CBA, and I'm so
30 years?
grateful to be
What
entering
that
the
mean?
league at this time.
Gabriella, just how excited are you to be joining
Yo, what's all
this
that noise,
roster?
man? What's CBA and WNBA? What does CBA mean in the WNBA? Collective bargaining agreement? I don't know what that means, nigga.
What do you know
I don't even know.
just about the organization you're coming
I think
into?
someone else got drafted though.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, you know, right now with the Sky, it's kind of like getting a lot of new players, and I'm just really excited to be a part of this and maybe a new era in the Sky, and I'm just ready to work.
Gabby, I was a part of the league when we made no money, but I'm really excited for you. Can you talk about the new CBA deal?
Oh, that's what that
excitement
means?
Of like coming into the league and being paid like a professional, like you absolutely should.
That's what I said, bro. I been said that. I feel like they weren't getting enough money, bro. There's some NFL players that are on the bench right now getting at least like 12, 15 million, bro. For me? And they work every single day and they only get 1 million as a starter. You feel me? I don't like that, bro. That's fucked up, bro.
I think when coming into the league at this time, again, I'm super grateful. And
Especially too, because it's like the NBA. Like,
NIL as well. So
it's not like it's like a underrated league. Like, this is literally the NBA league.
this class is very, very thankful, very grateful.
$1 billion
for all of it.
company,
But
bro.
yeah, I think the new CBA is amazing, and obviously the money is great. But I think that the things that are not necessarily the money, but all the things that make the experience better and the benefits makes the CBA really special and great.
Gabriella, thank you so much for joining us.
All
Best
right.
of luck going forward and enjoy the night tonight. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Gabriella
Barrett
Jaquez
Johnson,
going to the
tonight.
Chicago Sky. A lot of moving pieces there for that franchise.
Wait,
A lot of moving
So, okay.
pieces for the Washington
But I was gonna
Mystics,
say,
who
like,
once
some people
again
still
are
aren't
back
going yet.
on the clock here with their second of 3.
Okay, so everybody gets drafted in WNBA. Because I know, like, in the NFL, like, you might not get drafted at all. Like, you might go and you might not get drafted. But WNBA, like, everybody gets drafted.
Picks in the
There's only 6 people left.
round this year. They have already taken Lauren Betts with their first selection.
Oh, so they got
There's
another
a lot
pick?
of, you look at the
What she
board
gets?
here,
Angela.
Leisure, there's a lot of great names and a lot of great players who will change a franchise going forward. what are some of the
who y'all think they're
directions
gonna
you think
get?
that Washington can take going forward with this?
Imagine they get.
Ninth overall.
I imagine you losing the national championship, and then the whole next season y'all go to the WNBA. You on a team with someone that was on that team that beat you.
Overall pick.
For
With keep
me,
in mind,
they'd be
they had
like,
the 11th
damn.
overall pick.
I would have been
Right.
kind of
I'm
mad.
looking at guard play now for them, right? We've seen what their post depth,
Right.
taking Lauren Betts. So, like Raven Johnson's a name that I've circled. I think she could be a good potential for them. Her
Raven
defensive
Johnson and Lauren
ability,
Bates
not
on
a
the same
high
team.
volume 3-point shooter, but a
Oh,
quality
tonight, last
3-point
night, better
shooter. Her
defense.
leadership across the board. When you think about this young
what
squad
they
and what
said.
they're going to continue to build, is that another piece that they can bring in to grow, right? They're not a win now team. That's becoming pretty obvious, but it's a how do they build for the future.
Yeah, I second that on the point guard scenario because as we talked about before, we don't quite know when Georgia Amore could potentially be ready
Back?
to play coming off an ACL tear, and so
Damn, ACL
I'm
tear.
interested in that, and I'm also interested to see.
But who she said?
We don't quite know when Georgia Amore could
Georgia.
potentially be.
I think it's the
ready to
first
play
one on
coming
here.
off an ACL tear, and so I'm interested in that. I'm also interested to see, could we see a trade at some point?
Is that Caitlin
coming
Clark's sister?
down the pike in this first round, given that Washington has these picks? Is there a way that they can set up for the future beyond tonight? But we shall see.
It'll
Okay.
be interesting to see what Washington goes with.
Who y'all think they're gonna go
Getting
with?
a look at the Washington Mystics roster right now. Georgia Amore coming off that injury. Sonia Citron was tremendous last year for this team. Again, another Notre Dame prospect and product.
I'm ready for
Shakira
WNBA
Fenn is
season. I ain't gonna
another
lie.
player that was coming back. Another young player. There's a lot of young players, but Shakira Austin coming back to this team, I think. It was in flux.
Miss
over
Flux for
the
2
last
seasons.
couple of days.
Right.
All
But
right.
now seeing
This
her
is the
come
last
back
time. I ain't
and
gonna lie. I don't know why I
this
keep
whole
saying the same
puzzle
thing.
come together.
Damn.
When you look at this team overall, they've had disappointing years in recent memory.
Wait, now I ain't gonna skip the highlight.
But it seems like a core is starting to develop there in DC. It's exciting to watch.
I seen it in the buzzer beaters.
Yeah, it is, and I think the hard thing about with the young core group
I
is
couldn't
like,
watch
how
the
do you
other
keep
videos.
morale up and trust
Right.
that will be good, right? Because losing sucks.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to lose.
No.
And when you go on losing streaks in the WNBA, it's like the days get long and hard. So how, when you're building for the future, right, you don't want to become a part of a losing culture that just says like, we're not supposed to be good until 3 years anyway, right? Like they had
That's
2
sad.
WNBA All-Stars last year,
Yes,
and Sonia
exactly.
Citron and Kiki Irifian. So it's making sure the communication
What about
is
us?
clear and the culture is clear about how do we perform now, right, and compete every night? What are the measurable goals that why the W's might not always match up? You have to have ways that you can walk away from every game being like, that was a win. How did we win this moment? How did we win
That's
this
the
day?
point, man.
How are we having championship culture
I
and
ain't gonna
mindset and habits?
Oh shit, bro! As soon as I put it into top speed, they went to do it, bro.
Right, and
All right, let's see
tickets
this.
coming in, but to
They gonna get
bring
Raven
that
Johnson, bro. I'm
point,
telling y'all.
I think it's so interesting. Trading Brittany Sykes last season almost.
It's
seemed
gonna be
to
Raven
like,
Johnson, bro.
Okay, we're
Watch
not gonna
this.
make the
Watch and
playoffs,
learn right now.
You know what
Let's
I mean?
go.
And so just changing that
shit.
culture around, and here they go.
I literally said that they were gonna be on the same team.
Angela Dugalich, which I love.
They got another
I love this pick.
UCLA
So,
player.
When I was, this is UCLA's
It's just
night.
UCLA's night. Everyone else,
It is.
step aside.
It is.
I think
They just need one more person to get drafted.
UCLA's title run, and we talked about Gabriela Jaquez. They couldn't have done it without that X factor. UCLA could not have won the
No
title
look.
without Angela Dugalich, in my opinion. I mean, her performance
She was-
in the Sweet 16.
she was
and
making
13
them.
points,
I ain't gonna
10
lie.
rebounds against Minnesota, and the Elite Eight, 15 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. And everyone says the Elite Eight is like the hardest game to win. And
It
I
is.
just remember thinking that night, like they needed Lauren, yes, but they needed that secondary threat in order to get over that hump against Duke.
Absolutely. And a player like her, when you bring her off the bench, it's like, how is it even fair, right? Like it's not
She was on the
fair
bench.
the amount of depth that they have
Or
this
she means
year.
she jumped.
And with Dukalich's size,
Yes.
right? Like there's things you can't change, and size is one of them, right? That's one of the hardest jumps in the WNBA. It's one of my questions about Tanaya Latson, right? Like those players who
Right.
are, even the Georgia Amores, like the undersized, the smaller players, but when you have size and that versatility, it's dangerous.
She looks like a pro. And
She does,
I just wanted to add too, Sam, 60% from the field in those
Damn.
games that I mentioned in the NCAA.
That's something that
tournament.
you-
The
Lauren
efficiency,
Betts.
Like I don't know, I was just watching her and I was just like,
There she goes.
oh yeah, Dugalich, like she's got it going on.
And she
That's
gets
her
to play
sister?
a couple more,
Or her mom?
at
Oh, that's
least a
her
couple
mom.
more games, maybe another year. Who knows how long with her
Couple more
former
games.
teammate, now
Oh.
current teammate again with Lauren Betts over in
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
We need to
that
see
will
Lauren
be
Betts'
really
reaction.
interesting. The Washington
There
Mystics
goes,
have to
the
wait
coach
probably
again.
a total of 10 minutes before they make another pick. The
10
Indiana
minutes.
Fever are who is on
With a
the clock
fever.
right now. already seen 4 UCLA players get taken in this draft, and we aren't even through the first 10 picks. I mean, what does that say to you?
I
do you
mean,
think, Maria?
I could be wrong. Maybe we can have
It
someone.
says for the UCLA draftee in the first round, the most for same school in single draft history.
Check this.
Damn,
I think
boy,
4 in the first round is the most that we've
It is.
seen. I know we were just seeing, I think it was 2002 UConn, 4 players
2002.
go in the first round. So, I mean, that is saying something.
I need to know who that. I'm like,
Hey,
I
who?
think it was Sue.
Oh yeah.
I don't know who else. I saw a graphic for a second there. We'll find out.
Is she searching it up?
But, I mean, that is saying truly something. That is
Ah, UConn, I ain't gonna lie.
for a program
I
like
thought Duke,
UCLA.
or maybe
I'm
Duke
told
didn't
that's
have enough
true.
seniors.
Yes.
Christina is saying that is
Good
true.
call, Maria. Yeah.
Just talking to somebody?
But
Somebody in her ear?
it says a lot about Corey Close. It says a lot about
Yeah, I guess. Fuck
the
it.
college basketball.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, UCLA might be up there, bro. For me, they coach. There's no coach of the year for WNBA. I ain't lying.
And how
She gotta be coach of the year, bro.
was able to put this roster together.
Like, when is the like accomplishments this year? Or is that already over? Like the defensive player of the year, rookie of the year, all that stuff.
Because to me,
Unless they don't have it.
The strength of this roster was their age, their experience, their maturity, and that's why you see them getting drafted tonight.
Yeah.
Maturity.
No, I think it does speak to the fact that UCLA has been building to this.
Yeah.
In this moment, in this.
I ain't gonna lie, they've been going crazy.
And seeing Angela Duglich kind of encapsulate.
You gotta shout out UCLA.
It had stars on it, no doubt about it, but it also had individual players that contributed on a whole host of other levels. Indiana is on the clock right now. The Fever will have the 10th overall pick.
Shit. Oh yeah. So this chapter is a 10. 6 to 10.
In the meantime, let's welcome in Flau'jae Johnson, who is heading out to the Bay Area. Flau'jae, I'm actually going to pass my question off to Leja here because she lives in the Bay Area. Go ahead, Go ahead.
Yay area, Flau'jae. Tell us what you're excited
Well,
about being in the Bay with the Valkyries.
Where Flau'jae at? I want to see y'all.
Get mic'd up. That's okay.
Hold that thought.
Hold
I'll take it back.
Hold the question.
You get a second take with Flau'jae.
Edit.
Yeah.
Sure, edit.
Baby, that's the beauty.
Hey, a lot of great musical careers.
I'm excited.
Coming
I'm not
out of the
supposed to
Bay
have a
Area,
home team, but I'm like, I live there. So
all right,
I have season tickets.
There she goes.
Leja, we got her back. Go ahead. Ask Flau'jae.
Whoa, wait.
But,
Missed 31 games last season. Damn.
Like I live there. So
All right,
I had season tickets
Okay.
last year.
So I
Leja, we
came
got her
Clark.
back. Go ahead. Ask Flau'jae.
All right, gotta do it again. Yay, area!
All right,
Flau'jae. Congratulations. Want to know what you're most excited about being in the Bay Area and joining the Valkyries?
Man, just most excited to be a pro, just to learn, just to grow. I'm very excited. I love the West Coast. I'm about to be in the Bay. I got family out there, so I'm just very excited.
Flau'jae, what are you most looking forward to proving at this next level with your game?
That my game translate. I had a great career in college, but I plan to really come into my own in the W, and so I'm very excited. And just to get that opportunity, but I don't want to give it to me. I want to earn it. So I'm excited to show what my game is about.
That's what I like to hear right there.
Flau'jae,
Wait,
you've
there's
always
another
said
pick? I don't know.
that you like to bring and care a lot deeply about the people around you, your family that's closest to you. Sharing this moment with them tonight, I got to imagine.
Megan Johnson. Wait, why are they doing it?
Time type of thing. Talk about what your family means to you as you have gotten to this point and now head on to the pros.
Why are they doing an interview while they're drafting?
Means so much to me for their support. Everybody's here. We're about to have a ball tonight.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful. Like this journey.
Man, what do y'all like? What do you? Let me
have their support. I would have been stopped a long time ago if I didn't have that support system.
I feel that.
I'm so thankful to my family.
Flau'jae Johnson, congratulations.
All right, what you think? Like a lot of these players do after they get drafted. What y'all think they do? Like, you think they, text their teammates on IG and all that? You think they go party? You think they, because I know, like, if I got drafted, I'll probably just have like a party at the crib, maybe stream, talk to my fans or my future fans, like, of the team that I'm going to. Yeah.
Best of luck.
I like a little cookout, maybe.
Really appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Well, you're hearing the screams in the background.
As I heard that.
Because
Raven
Johnson has been taken off the board.
I see that.
I see that
one.
With Caitlin Clark, a whole host of other players there. What are we feeling with this pick?
6 South Carolina guard under Dawn Stanley drafted in first round history. Okay.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I think Dawn Stanley need to get Coach of
I
year
would
too.
stress this.
Well,
This is
they
this
both
is
can get it,
good
but you know what I mean.
drama, okay?
I still
Because
say
Raven
LSU should get it.
Johnson, when she was a younger player, you
Drama.
know, went viral when Caitlin Clark sort of waved her off during the game because she wasn't guarding her from three. They weren't respecting her from
Waved
three.
her off.
And you know what? I know that was hard on Raven at the time. But I
Hmm.
think maybe she would be grateful for that moment, Leja, because I think that has fueled her
It helped her, yeah.
to
That's what I'm
become
saying.
better and round
That's
out
what I'm
her
saying.
game.
That's what
And
I'm
she has
saying.
become a good three-point shooter in addition to all the other things that she does well, like lead, like defend. She is a winner. I mean, the win percentage, you've heard Dawn Staley talk about it with Raven Johnson at South Carolina, has been
60.
fantastic. And so
Oh.
Raven has had a
Doesn't tell me.
phenomenal college career, and I would
Mm.
love to be a fly on the wall in that conversation.
Caitlin
Like,
Clark.
Raven Johnson, hey, what's up? Like,
Ooh,
kind of.
shoot.
It's like you do the moment where you were enemies, right? Because
Yes.
I have a lot of enemies when I played
Frenemies,
against them, and then you become teammates, and you're like,
I feel
Okay,
it.
okay,
you're
yeah,
good.
you're
Okay,
like,
Like,
you're
like-
because once you're
I'm
in
saying.
the same squad, you're like, oh, that's my
Yeah.
squad. Like,
Right.
then you.
But I mean, they
support
can
each
still be
other.
enemies in practice, though. You know, get each other better and shit like that.
Yeah.
With Raven, that 39% from three, I mentioned it earlier, right? She's not a high volume 3-point shooter, and she doesn't need to be because they have an extremely high volume.
They do have
three-point
Caitlin Clark.
shooter in Caitlin
They
Clark.
do.
But what I love about her game is she takes care of the basketball,
Yeah.
which is what you want in a point guard, and that's been a problem for Caitlin Clark at times. Has been being
Damn.
way too loose with the basketball.
Man, she
As
got
a
no handles.
playmaker,
I
right?
like
So
that.
I like when you can get scoring guards off the ball, right? They can always
Oh,
come back to
shit.
the ball. You can loop them up,
Right.
and
They
then
go
you
to
catch
Mom.
the ball with a live dribble in a middle pick and roll. But what Raven Johnson will have the ability
Possibly
to
the
do is
dad.
relieve
Maybe.
some pressure,
Brother, maybe.
right? And then defensively, what she
Yes.
brings.
Auntie,
we haven't
that's
even
right,
mentioned
aunt.
her defense yet.
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Dad
I
might be
wanna
the.
piggyback off your point because a little
I
stat
don't know.
to support
Maybe the
what you're
brother.
saying.
That's
So
probably the
she
brother.
ranked
Yeah, that's
fourth
the brother.
nationally in
If they got
assist
dapper,
turnover
that's definitely the
ratio,
brother.
while averaging over 5 assists per game. So
Yeah.
that's
Did
what I
anybody
think
else
is
hug their coach?
So unique. And then as far as being a great on-ball defender, we saw that on display with her D'ing up Sarah Strong. Like,
Oh my
Mm.
God,
that
yes.
was
Yeah,
a
I seen that
big,
too in the
big
highlights.
factor
I seen that. I
in
seen
UConn
that.
getting basically annihilated by South Carolina. in
Yeah,
the
there was
Final
that one
Four.
point.
It was
I
a
like,
blowout?
who is that guarding Sarah Strong, right? And it was Raven
And I love
down there.
Dawn was like, doesn't care. She knows that it was a mismatch as far as size is concerned,
Yeah.
but she
Oh,
was just like, whatever,
wait.
putting Raven on Sarah. So
Damn, they got 3 picks? Oh, they didn't say that Mystique did bad last season.
So the
I don't know. Do you ever think like some of these teams, like if they're either doing bad or like their star player gets injured, they purposely lose so they can get like the new talent? Because I feel like think about it too. Like if someone gets injured, their record's starting to go down. Like they see the college games and they scout out who they'll want, and then they'll be like, okay, but I got these different draft picks, so all I got to do is just even before the WNBA or the college female start like ends, they already know who they want.
Mystics
Have another
are
pick.
back up on the board here with the
They got
11th overall
2
pick. Commissioner
UCLA
Kathy
players.
Engelbert delivering the
So who's
pick.
next?
Yeah, Raven Johnson, by the way, departing South Carolina as the all-time leader in assist to turnover ratio in
Cody?
program history. So
look at us with the stats.
that's pretty impressive. All right, Leja, here we go. Cody McMahon heading to Washington, D.C. This was a player that you said was slept on a little bit here in the draft.
What is
Tell me
this?
why.
I did. I thought she was going to hopefully find a really good home. She's got a nose for scoring the
remember
basketball. My
watching
comp
her.
is Kayla Thornton, right? And we've seen what Kayla Thornton
Kayla
likes to do with
Thornton?
the Valkyries later in her career. But she's a versatile player.
I don't know what
She's
that
a
is.
3-4 in the
Hey, we're gonna learn though. We're gonna learn.
Having that player who can guard either position, who you see her shot blocking
That's a good
ability
block.
there, and she passes
But
the
midi,
ball
look like she
well.
like a
Her
power forward
playmaking,
kind of, right?
She gets going downhill, which is what I love. I think consistency
5th almost player drafted in
from the
first round
three
for
can
WNBA.
really be the growth of her game, and that's
Okay,
going to take
okay.
her to the next level. Because when you're
Okay.
that 4 player and you can pick and pop, or
Pick
you're
and
that three who
pop.
can
That's
space
what
in
you
the corner
need.
will be really
That's what you need in the
I'm
league.
really excited to see what Cody McMahon can do. I think it's notable that she thrived in both
Third
the
season
Big
at
Ten
Ohio
and
State.
the SEC.
Yep.
You know, 2 of the toughest conferences in the college game. There may have been some inconsistencies, you know, with her game, especially at
Inconsistencies?
Ohio State. But
Okay.
we heard Holly Rose sort of document her story. She had some struggles with health. You know,
Okay, there she
into
go. There she
Ole
go.
Miss and kind of got
I
that
was
in
gonna put it
check,
on
and
speed.
then you saw how much confidence she
Second,
was playing
first.
with, and I also think
Wait,
it's
what is
interesting got that in check, and then you
Oh,
saw
Ohio
how
State.
much confidence she was playing with, and I also think it's interesting too, like just playing in different systems and her going to Ole Miss and being
Ooh,
you
a little
know,
whiff.
the top of the scouting report,
Yeah.
the star player,
Go to
the
coach.
one that everyone is D'ing up on and focusing on and still being able to thrive. So,
Bro,
I
that's
think
so inspirational. Like you're literally a family member going to see your sister. Some I don't think they have their kids here. I ain't like I feel that's kind of tough though. The kids, like you get drafted, well, not because they only like 18, 19 years old. Well, anyway, but yeah, like your family being there, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, from me seeing you go in the
probably
draft,
learned
get a haircut.
a ton
Y'all
in
pick
the
like matching fit. Well, I don't know if they
NCAA
matching,
tournament,
but
and I
you
do
know what I
think she
mean,
is
right?
going to have a nice career.
So
That's
the
the
Connecticut
coach.
Sun are on the clock right now. We'll get to them because it is the last season of women's basketball
What that mean?
in Uncasville right now. But
Oh,
I want to talk
I
about the
thought.
three
Oh
picks that
shit!
Yes.
I almost
Washington
lost my
decided
mind,
to
boy.
get here in the first
I thought you
round.
meant
There
it was
was some
over.
speculation that Washington
20
would
points a game?
condense or compile some of those picks and trade some away. They ended up taking three players here in the first round. They get Lauren Betts. Obviously, they get Angela Dugalich,
Bleach,
and
yeah.
now they get Cody McMahon. When you look at this haul, Asia,
703
for
points, most by
Washington,
Miss.
how does it all fit with what they currently have on the roster?
Oh,
I think they nailed it. I mean,
they got everybody.
when you look across the board with the size with Betts, with Dugalich's versatility,
Yes.
and then that scoring wing with Cody McMahon, it's clear that they're building for the future.
And then they
so
said Georgia's coming off an injury. Kiki, they said was good. Citron. That's all I remember. I ain't
talked
gonna
about it, wanting to win.
That's all I
have
remember that they
culture
said.
moving forward.
But
they
I
got
didn't see any of their
really
highlights.
good pieces, and you wonder, does it Alicia Clark, right? That veteran, does the Shakira Austin, the players who can anchor your culture while you do want to build with young players? I think they did a good job of getting a variety of picks to fit the system.
I want to ask you a question really quick. Like with the expansion continuing on into next year, Maria, like does the front office think in terms of let's acquire all of the best players we possibly can because maybe some of these players get taken next year, or you have trade value as well?
I mean, I just think that Washington isn't afraid to have a young roster. I mean, we saw it last year with the 2 All-Stars, and I think they're okay with let's just start from scratch. I mean, you mentioned they do have a couple of vets, but you also, there's something about the young, hungry talent, and there's nothing that says that I want to talk about these players as trade pieces, but there's nothing that says you
catering
can't
to Houston.
use these
The,
players as potential
Connecticut
trade
team?
capital down the line.
All right, let's welcome in Angela Dugalich.
Okay.
To the Washington Mystics.
That's what you just
A
say about
good
Lauren
night
Betts,
for the
y'all.
UCLA Bruins tonight, Angela. Talk about what your thoughts were when you heard your name called heading to D.C.
Yeah, I mean, I was just super excited and elated as well. Just knowing that I'm going to be able to play with Lauren and Michaela and obviously the rest of the group as well.
Dang.
Angela,
Maybe they don't know that many
with
people.
your game, what
Okay, well, we're in the
specifically are
same
you
boat then.
looking to bring, but also improve upon and sharpen?
Oh,
to
a
get to the
God.
W?
Okay. She was good
I'm
defense.
ready to bring my versatility. I'm because I am so versatile. I can really do anything for you. If you want me to be more of a guard, if you want me to be more of a post, whatever you need, I can defend as well. 1 through 5.
That's what we need
She's
more.
great for switching purposes.
That's what we need
Things
more
that I
of.
can work on. I think just my consistency and my 3-point percentage.
Okay.
And defensively,
Honesty.
just making those right tweaks. But yeah.
Okay.
Angela, thank you so much for taking the time. Congratulations
All right.
on tonight.
There you go.
Best of luck going forward. We appreciate it.
Then they had second fewest in the NBA.
Thank you so
I know Sophia Cunningham is supposed for
much.
that team.
I mean, she talked about it, the versatility, and I love how she said whatever you need. Like that's as a GM or a coach.
That's what
is
you
that not
need.
What you want to hear.
That is what
the
you
player
need,
that you
though.
just drafted.
No question.
It's that Swiss Army knife, right? You think about the Caleb Thorntons of the world, like the Dugalichs. Those are the players that you're going to have a job, right? You think about job security, right? We're talking about the rosters are bigger now, so that's a better opportunity, or they have to keep 12 players as developmental spots. So oftentimes we've seen players end of the first round or second round, like,
Go ahead, 12
everyone did,
players.
like, yay, they had their moment, they get a photo op, probably getting cut, right? That's different now, I think, with the roster expansion.
Yes,
There's more likely that you do get to stay on a team and you do get to develop. And the way you also keep a job is by being a versatile player.
Yeah, I don't know, because it's like, dang, like, imagine you get drafted, go to a team, and then boom. You play bad that season, kicked off that team, bro.
Right?
Let
Like
me find you a house, find you someone like little husband or wife, or well, husband in their case, and I mean, something they might have wife too, and then boom, you gotta move out and go somewhere else, man, to a team that's even worse. record-wise.
Army knife.
Because I play every team good.
Your ability
You know.
to be a 3, to be a 4, to be a defender,
You
to
with me,
be
though.
able to switch as she spoke to her own assets there.
Yes.
It makes a difference.
I like
You got to be able to
Raven
switch,
Johnson
though.
is going to join us in just a second.
Raven
He's taken
Johnson.
to the Indiana Fever, obviously.
Raven
going to play
Johnson.
with Caitlin Clark and a whole host of other talented players on that team. Connecticut Sun are on
And
the
then
floor
Ozzy's
with
going to
the
be
next
playing with
pick. Franchise
Paige.
made news this offseason.
Yeah.
The Sun officially is setting in the state of Connecticut.
25 win percentage.
In the WNBA since 2003, they will be moving to Houston to revive the Houston Comets.
Oh, yeah,
in
they said that.
2027 after the sale of the.
All right, let's get to Raven
As
Johnson.
somebody who grew up in the state of Connecticut and grew up a Connecticut Sun fan, it's obviously disappointing to see, but it's also in another state like Texas getting women's basketball back in Houston. We'll talk about that in just a second because Raven Johnson is now ready.
Oh, shit. All right. Let's see what Raven Johnson got to say.
To join
Let's
us,
get it.
Here, Raven, congratulations on
Let's
getting
just
selected. You're heading to Indiana. What were your initial reactions and thoughts when you heard your name called tonight?
Yeah, I was super excited. I honestly thought I would have been, picked later than that, but it's a
Damn.
blessing, honestly, and I'm ready
Double
to work,
humble.
but
Double humble.
I'm
I
glad
like
that
that.
they picking me. I get to play with former players like Aaliyah Boston, and also great players like Caitlin Clark, Lacey Hall, Casey Mitchell. I mean, it's a winning program, and that's all I do. I like to win, so.
What are you looking forward to how your game will translate for Indiana, specifically with the roster of, you just mentioned all your future teammates?
Yeah, I think my defense tenacity,
that's what she got.
to the game, and then learning from like Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, who's in front of me, with the point guard leadership and just everything. Honestly, their winning mentality. They all have winning mentalities. They want to win, so I think that's going to translate.
You think they bring me players watching?
Raven, you've talked a lot about winning. You've done a lot of winning, and you're going to a team that could contend for a championship this year. I mean, they were very close to making it to the finals last year. How serious are you about going in and winning a title this year?
Oh, I'm very serious. When it comes down to basketball and I step on the court, that's all I want to do. I want to win. And whatever it takes to do to win, that's what I'm going to do.
All right.
Raven,
sounds about right.
You obviously had such a career.
Brittany Griner on that team too?
Under Coach Dawn Staley.
On Suns?
Did you have any conversations with her before tonight? And what was her
Or
message
they
to you?
lose her to another team?
Yeah, she told me to be ready for the moment. She didn't know. Actually, we all didn't know what pick I was going to be. You never know. So she just say, breathe and live in the moment. Be in the moment where your feet are, and you deserve this moment. So that's what she said to me.
Raven Johnson heading to
Might as well
Indiana.
say we want
Congratulations, Raven. Best of luck going forward. Appreciate the time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now imagine how many #1 picks wanted a different team.
It's been great to hear from all of these.
Think about it.
I know. We're getting all
like all I do is win, no matter. That's what the song was playing in my head because she's a winner.
100%.
That's right. All right, so we have another pick in here, and it will be Nell Anglima out of France heading to Connecticut. Another international player here, just 19 years old. She plays in France's top pro league. Really jumped up the draft boards in the 2025 U19 World Cup, where she led.
That's not the same person.
In the to Connecticut, another
this is the same person.
Player here, just 19 years old. She plays in France's top pro league. Really jumped up the draft boards in the
ESPN, you alright?
2025 U19 World Cup, where she
is it? Am I tripping?
France in scoring.
It says 33.
Best top prospects.
Damn.
Her versatility. She can
you
play
can't
both
really
ways. She
see.
can play forward as well. It seems like we're seeing a trend here when you're talking about
born in France
players. Positionless basketball, right? That's kind of the name of the game right now in the
W.
W.
Yeah, you want versatile pieces, right? The system is changing in the W where you want to play, like Brianna Stewart's bringing the ball down, so your point guard's off the ball. You've seen Alyssa Thomas playing point guard, right? It's not that traditional 1 through 5 system. What I like about Nell is her spin move, her ability to change direction and get downhill. She's got those long steps and that ability and that quickness to get to the paint. The question is, does she need time to develop? How much time? The question is always, how will the game translate? But she plays for France, right? And we've seen multiple French players come over, so you know the country you're drafting from, you know the caliber of play. We've seen the Gabby Williams of the world play for the French national team. So
Gabby Williams.
This is a high-quality, well-coached player coming into the league.
Right, just 19 years old, but again, we've seen many examples of the maturity showing up at a young age for these international players. But for me, when I watched the film, what stood out was her ability to finish at the rim. Like, she had a lot in her bag as far as just crafty finishes, you know, the Euro steps and all those other different ways.
Imagine you in the WNBA, you bring your boyfriend to the draft and he cheat on you, bro.
He can just put the ball in the basket.
Shit.
And so I'm looking
Hey.
forward to that. And, you know, we started to
You never
talk
know,
about
man.
Connecticut right before the pick came in.
Already happened.
And I think for a player like Nell Anglema, who is so young, it's maybe neither here nor there. But for more of the veteran players, Leja, I was kind of curious, just your perspective. You're going to a team where you know they're about to relocate. Like, you know, they weren't competitive last year because although the Connecticut Sun was a great ownership group for a long time, they were starting to not be able to keep up with the level of investment we're seeing across the league. And so what's the mindset, do you think, for the players going to play there?
It's
Brittany.
when I first saw that signing, I had to like, wait, Connecticut, like, oh, they're going to Houston, right? Like, they're building for the future.
Right.
Well, why they get another center?
So when I played for this team, we went to the finals, we lost to the Mystics. It's heartbreaking in terms of like, where does that history and that culture go? Like, where
You must be
like,
confident
Houston
in
gets it all back, it's
art.
beautiful and well deserved. So I think what you're seeing with these players is how are you where your feet are, knowing next year you'll be somewhere else, and all you have is every season in front of you, right? You think you're gonna play for a team for the rest of your career, you're training, you're cut your weight, like life changes quickly. So I think this is a unique situation where you don't find
Proud of
yourself
them,
being
man.
like, I know if I'm on a 2-year deal, I'm playing in this city, but I will be moving to the
Business
same next year
though,
in the
man.
Northeast, and so it's just a really unique time in the
It's what
WNBA
it is. You feel me?
that we're living in right now with so much change.
Ashland Jackson to get
Executing
drafted.
the trade with Dallas, so it's going to be interesting to see a lot of young core players on the Connecticut Sun right now. But again, it's temporary as this team will be heading to Houston in a mere months. So we'll see what happens with that. The Atlanta Dream are now on the clock with the 13th.
Jarice's team, y'all. See what they got.
Overall pick here in the first round. The Dream.
I know this was not as bad as I thought, bro.
College coach.
But it took me a long time to find a video like this, bro.
Last season.
We almost done, y'all. Y'all pulled through.
Coach of the year. His system
Coach of the year
translates to the WNBA for a lot of different reasons. They like to shoot a lot of threes, obviously.
Well, wait. Huh?
And they translates to the WNBA
Oh, I thought I said points.
for a lot of different reasons. They
Okay.
like to shoot a lot of threes, obviously. And we were just talking about it. Positionless play, I think, is synonymous with a Carl Smesko system. While that doesn't on its face seem like
Brianna
a great
Jones.
fit for Angel Reese, she provides a whole other dimension to this team and to this franchise that
Angel Reese can shoot
they
threes,
may have
right?
been lacking this year. The pick is now in, but while we wait for the commissioner to come up and make this pick,
I don't know. I low key might not have to react to the draft or the trades because a lot of it's
do
already in
you
here.
think Angel fits into this Carl Smesko system, Leisha?
She's tough, gritty. Like Angel, what she does on the rebounding on the boards, right? They lost Brittany Griner.
Yeah.
Still have Brianna Jones, but they've got Naz Hillman. So I cannot wait to see Naz Hillman and Angel Reese in practice. Like, who gets
Hi. Ooh, they got another center.
right? Like,
They got another
second
center, yeah.
possessions and the fact that you don't need Angel
They got
to
another one.
get the ball down low like she did Chicago and try and score, right?
So,
She's
and-
got
yeah, Angel
all
can shoot
of these
minis.
weapons around her, and the Ryan Howards, the Alicia Grays, where she can go clean up the glass.
Alicia
And
Gray?
The ceiling is still so high for Angel Reese. We have not seen her nearly tap
12.
her offensive potential
I guess
from
she
a
averaged
developmental
double-double.
standpoint. So I think that's where I'm excited to see her future grow.
All right, so the pick is now in. Atlanta has selected the 6'6" center from South Carolina, Medina Okot. Double-double machine for Dawn Staley's South Carolina Gamecocks this year. They actually hoped that they were going to get her back for another year, but the NCAA denied an extra year of eligibility, so she said, fine, I'll go ahead and get drafted in the
Why?
first round of the WNBA draft, and that's exactly ability. So
When
she
was
said, "Fine,
this?"
I'll go ahead and get drafted in the first round of the WNBA
Whoa.
draft, and that's exactly what she did. Maybe
That was
more
Tanaya
of a
Laston too? Wait, where's Tanaya Laston at?
fly kind
She
of
didn't get
player
drafted yet.
in the league, but only spent 2 years in the U.S. college system. Started at Mississippi State, then over to Dawn
she only did 2
Staley's
years.
team in South Carolina. But the
Hey, start the development of these coaches
athleticism
and players.
jumps off the screen, Liz. You can see
Going to
that.
double-doubles?
Translates.
Yeah, she probably could have used a bit more time to develop, right? That one more year. But the good thing is we just mentioned all these post players.
Yes.
They don't need her to come in and start, right? She gets to practice against Angel Reese,
That helps.
Naz Hillman, and potentially Brianna Jones. So she's going to be learning from like that athleticism and that challenge and practice every day cannot be understated.
I feel
The
that.
competition
I actually
you
kind
get
of
to
feel
show
that
up
low
in,
key.
and that's going to help her growth tremendously.
We're totally on the same page because I was thinking that as soon as I heard the pick, I thought, well, they don't need her to be anything crazy right now because they are returning a lot of the
I feel
roster
that.
they
I
had
look
last
for that,
year.
though.
And remember, they were a really good team last year. Like, they got upset by Indiana, but they were very, very good. Over 30
They were.
wins. And as you mentioned, Sam, Carl Smesko was a strong candidate for Coach of the Year. And by the way, he said, you know, Angel Reese is going to fit in with us perfect. And, you know, with her motor
54
and
plus.
all these other players returning, Bree Jones, you know, Alicia Gray is back, Jordan Canada is back. They're running this back in a lot of ways. Ryan Howard is back. And so for Medina Okot, it's just about, hey, I only started playing basketball 6 years ago. I can
Hmm.
continue to work on my game, and I think it's
Hey,
really
she locked in
notable
though.
that, you know, she added
6
a
years.
three-point shot
I
this
do got a kid.
season.
Here.
She had 29 attempts this season after never
Another one too.
attempting a three before this year.
The what?
29 attempts this season after
At the
never
three?
attempting a three before this year, and shot it at a 44.8% clip. So again,
Damn.
I'm looking at, when I see stuff like that, I'm very encouraged about where your trajectory is.
So much of this
She's
draft,
too better than
so much
y'all.
of any draft that you're
At the
talking
three.
about is potential.
That's
Right?
not
You're
last.
looking and drafting these players, front
Or
offices
is
are
that
trying to build their franchises for the future. Medina Okot
Raven?
is one of those
Johnson.
players that Carl Smesco is going to work with. This front office is going to work with.
Oh yeah, Gianna.
Compare to seeing a Naz Hillman, right? She wasn't a
Yes,
three-point shooter coming in, right? And it's
She
not
wasn't?
forcing a player to become a three-point shooter, right?
Right.
You're it takes years of practice. I think of Veronica Burton. I played with her at Athletes Unlimited, right? In off-season, she was
Oh shit. Damn. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't think it was gonna be that quick.
developing that.
I think I was
three-point
listening to
shot.
them
She
chat
was
a little
working
while.
for years to be
But
ready.
somebody need to get
Especially that Valkyrie's
Gianna
opportunity, right?
and
So
Tanaya.
it's gonna take a bit of
Or-
time, and I think
yeah.
to your point, Okot.
Yeah. It's also yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
It'll
she's
happen.
got a little wiggle room.
Slowly,
No
yeah.
doubt.
Duke?
We have another pick coming in.
Oh, they got
Taina
Duke.
Mare out of Duke.
Yes, love this.
Slides
happy
into
for
the first
her.
round. An incredible on-ball
Okay,
defender.
okay,
We
okay.
talk about high IQs.
I mean, I
Olympic
think-
miles. Put Taina Mare up there in that conversation.
There's 4
With
more
vision
picks.
and
No,
passing,
4 or 3.
mid-range jumper as well.
No,
Taina
4,
Mare
yeah, 4.
heading out to the Seattle Storm to join
Let's see the
Oliver
highlights.
Sam, who was taken
Come on, let's see it.
with the 3rd
I wanna see the highlights
overall
now. Let's
pick.
go.
So, Duke,
Show me the highlight.
Spain, little combination there out there in Seattle. Pacific Northwest is going to have some really fun basketball to
I
watch.
feel that.
Yes, and you know, Leja, you're going to be contributing to coverage out
No,
there.
where the
in
highlights
Seattle.
are,
You
man.
also did ACC coverage, so I definitely am
Did
curious
she retire?
your thoughts on this Taina Mare pick. But I'll just say that I was really impressed with what Taina Mare did in the tournament, and I think even in a loss in the Elite Eight, Taina Mare balled out, and she scored.
They ain't gonna show no
a
highlights?
lot. And I was really, really impressed with how aggressive she was. She made very few mistakes. She really put the team on her back, especially in that win over LSU. And so I'm thrilled for her to get this opportunity. And
Damn.
I think she has a bright future ahead.
I mean, I would go search them up, but I ain't trying to get copyrighted, bro. So shit. Maybe she's just too good for highlights, man. Maybe she was injured or something.
But you look at those players who just find a way and they're gritty. And the thing I loved about her when I was talking to her, right? It's like, who needed to do all this stats? You just win, right? It's like this competitiveness. It's like the thing, especially as a point guard. But in talking to Kara Lawson, she talked to me about how Mare developed, right? How early
watch
in her
that
career, she
thing.
had to call every single play for her. She was like, I had to be like, no, run it on the left side because Mare couldn't translate quickly. And I was asking her about her WNBA prospects of drafting, and she's like, her growth and ability to now know a play and already be like, oh, she needs to go there. I need to run on the right side because I need to run on the left side. That's that point guard instinct and quickness that Mare is.
Damn. What up, man? They're going by pretty quick now. Okay.
Now prepared for
Connecticut again?
that I'm excited about.
Let's see what they get. Come on, get tonight.
We have our final
Tonight,
pick
please.
coming in. The Connecticut Sun will
Come on,
pick
tonight,
15th
please.
here in the 2026 WNBA
Oh,
draft.
okay.
And it is
We got Gianna.
Gianna Neepkins out of UCLA.
Okay, I did say that
All
earlier.
right, I've lost count. How many Bruins have been drafted now in this first
That's
round?
fine.
Wow, that is
That's the whole
5.
team.
Five.
That
Is that
is
the record?
most-
I think.
That is the record.
That's the whole team.
We have never had
I mean,
5
starting lineup.
players from one school selected in the first round of a
Hey, shout out UCLA and their fans, man. Y'all went crazy.
draft. We now have
That's the
5
whole
from
team.
the UCLA Bruins.
Starting lineup.
Notre Dame had 5 in the top 20 back in 2019. That was close.
Notre Dame?
2023 South Carolina Gamecocks. 08 Vols.
Wait, is that her right here?
That was close. 2020.
Oh no. Yeah, that's Ashlyn Jackson. That's
South
it.
Carolina Gamecocks.
She didn't get
08
drafted.
Vols
I ain't gonna lie. Ashlyn Jackson and Tanai Lawson should have got
had
drafted.
5 taken in a single draft, but not in the first round. And Gianna
Very
Neepkins
close.
comes out for UCLA.
So-
We got very close.
Wait, is that
That's pretty good.
the one
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
in
I
there?
mean, hey, it's
Send
a
out.
new tax bracket we're now in.
Yes.
Yeah, they getting money though. Hey,
Come here, you're going to be drafted.
They getting
in
some
WNBA.
breach.
Look what we
Oh,
did,
true,
right? Like the
true.
marketing and the portal.
That was something else I was going to bring up too.
I mean, I did say
There are
that.
6 of the 15 players projected to go in the first round, and I believe it was 5 that actually got picked
Yes.
were
Damn.
transfers. that made a one-stop stop in their senior year. Wow. So are we seeing now a trend where you play 3-4 years at one school, transfer to a program that sends players to a WNBA draft? But let's focus on Neepkins here really quickly because he is the final pick in this WNBA draft. So she goes to Connecticut. She will join now Anglima there. We talk about the future. We talk about this team, where they're going to be going. But
we definitely skip through this.
Better three-point shooters in the draft.
I think.
Oh no,
Brittany Griner.
I mean, yeah, I can't.
Who they just pick?
Particularly with Brittany Griner down low, right? That's always been the problem with the system around BG. Or now we have Diana, right? You can skip it on the weak side. You have to double BG. Brittany Griner's not playing as much later in her career, right? But you have Aaliyah Edwards, who's shown her ability to put the ball on the floor and be a prolific scorer and a really big piece for the future. So Neepkins also being a part of a winning team. We heard Raven Johnson say winning, I think, 17 times in that interview because it matters, right? A winning culture, where do you come from, matters with the system and where you're going to land.
So I'll just say about Neepkins, I know you mentioned that the fact that she did transfer. So she is 23 years old. So she played, 4 years at Utah before going to the Bruins and being able
23
to cap off her career with that championship. And just to throw some numbers on the 3-point.
I feel bad for whoever didn't get drafted, but I ain't gonna lie, the last draft pick, you know how sad that has to be. It's that's kind of being the last picked on a basketball blacktop game. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, bro. You watch everybody get drafted, you think you're not even gonna get drafted, and then boom, the last one. Save the best for last, bro.
43% for her career, and
that's a mom in the cut.
50% from the floor for her career.
Brother,
and so
for sure, that's
when
definitely
I
brother.
see that consistency and that efficiency over the course of 5 years,
maybe that's your teammates.
Is ding, ding, ding,
no,
ding. You have someone that's probably gonna.
Why did Tanai Lesson get not big pick? And with the final pick, I ain't gonna lie. That's 5 years the person going first round.
At the next level.
The new NBA draft.
Alexa Philippou, again, our WNBA specialist, the 5.
Okay.
Round, a new WNBA draft record for most selections from one school.
Any more interviews?
Round. So that does it for us, and that does it for the first round. The coverage will continue over on ESPN with second round, obviously. But before we get out of here, I do want to get your thoughts, overall takeaways from this first round.
Okay, so I just want to put a bow on the Chicago Sky conversation because we started to get into just how much change there has been in this offseason for Chicago's. And I have to just say, when we saw the Angel Reese trade, there was a lot of what is Chicago doing? Chicago's trying to compete. Okay, the players that they brought in, Skylar Diggins, Dejanay Carrington, Rakia Jackson, do not sleep on Chicago. So I just wanted to
Corey Ariel Atkins,
so I want to put a bow on that.
I ain't
fucking
lying.
I might just. I'm going to continue to celebrate the UCLA Bruins and Coach Corey Close. It's almost like they won a championship again because this night has just been a celebration and a reflection of what that team accomplished, winning the first championship for the program. And now
I might lucky just skip the whole.
On the stage tonight.
Absolutely. Any surprise for Tanai Latson to drop out of the first round?
Good call.
I thought that was
spot,
and I think her ability to be more of a point guard than a high-volume scorer. I think that's the problem last season when we saw, particularly in that UCLA game, her getting there against Lauren that size. Right, Lauren that's one of the bigger players in the league, but the athleticism, right? You're going to see the neck of the world. People are going to.
Damn, this shit kind of fast as shit. The whole way out of her. You can't understand what they're saying. I will do 2.8.
Still second round, she could be fine, but
can I add a thought on Tanai as well? Because I know she's only 5'9". I think she's a scorer, period. And I think even at the next level, wherever she goes, she's going to find a way to get hers because that's what we saw. And I also think it's a testament to her that she was at Florida State, didn't average fewer than 21 points per game throughout her career. As a junior, was leading the nation scoring over 25 points per game. Goes to South Carolina, is willing to take a little bit of a backseat and work with other players and still be extremely productive. So I personally am high on Tanai Latson.
I agree. And as somebody who saw games in the ACC over the last several years, her drive at Florida State when she first got there was unmatched. And I gotta imagine she's gonna put a nice big chip on that shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
She certainly thought that she should be in the first round. But I gotta imagine she's here. Her name called very, very soon. Again, if you,
I mean, shit. As long as you get drafted, it don't matter, nigga. There's probably a lot of people, even in the NFL, NBA, that get drafted the second round or probably a top 3-4 player in the league. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really think that matters. Because you gotta realize too, it's the training camps open, preseason games. I know you gotta realize though, you still gonna get drafted to the Saints. So even if you think about it, there's 32 teams. You're gonna get drafted to the same team anyway. So it's not like it's you in a whole different league. Even if you get drafted, say the Warriors pick Curry in the first round, and then they pick Draymond in the fourth round, they still going to the same team. Still, he may still start. Draymond may still start. You know what I'm saying? So.
25th, the first day of regular season coming.
Oh, so the preseason is the 25th. I thought that was the real season.
On May 8th.
And then the regular season is May. Okay. That's around my birthday too. Okay. Well, not around it, but it is my birthday.
One storyline you're going to be following closely as we get into the preseason, as we push free agency and CDL. That's done. Heading into the season, basketball-wise, storyline.
For me, I don't know if it's hardcore basketball. I'm just so thrilled that we're having a season. We're having a season on time. The players got an incredible win with their collective bargaining agreement, and the owners got an incredible win because they have a great product that is doing it phenomenally well as a business.
And they got that money. They got that money.
It's crazy. It's been kind of fun and awesome to see the news kind of rolling in just nonstop. The momentum is just rolling. This league is been great for a long time, and this is just a celebration of this is a turning point. I'm just so thrilled that we are where we are, and I just can't wait for more.
I'm following the storyline of expansion, right? It's easy to look at without being okay, right? We want to win now. Let's go. History. So I'm paying attention to who can set their culture and their system quickest, and who sticks to it, right? It's easy to do it when you have an idea and you're training camp and start losing a few games. So who sticks to it? And similarly with Washington, it's how are people developing their identity is the third line I'm paying attention to.
Hey, 2 minutes, man. You have to take it out for 2 more minutes for me.
I think basketball people familiar with the game were they got great players, it's a fun squad, but to see what they did now that bar is set. And let's remember, just saying, Sandy Brandel in her career, she's never missed a playoffs. But that's what she does. And so I'm just really excited. I also feel like other teams are we're not sleeping on the expansion teams this year. We know they're there for a reason.
No doubt about it. It was a great night. Thank you everybody who tuned in on the ESPN YouTube page. Really appreciate that.
All right, man. Shout out all these people in this video, and everybody that got drafted, man. I love y'all, man. So a little prayer right quick. And this shit an hour and 30. I ain't lie. This might be the longest video I ever made. I ain't got. All right, let's pray, man. But thank you for allowing everybody to make it to their team. Just help tonight, Lyson, and just everybody else that didn't get drafted to make it to their team in the second and third rounds. Because there is, I think it's a 36 picks or 36 picks. So so them be able to make it to their team. Help everybody that did make it to their team be able to be a good fit for their team, and let no drama happen, and just help them be able to stay healthy. Help all the other players that aren't healthy to get back healthy too, so they can be back for the season on May 8th. And just I'm really excited for this new season. It's my first time ever really reacting to the WNBA, and I just want to give it more light because I feel like the WNBA doesn't get as much, like people don't watch it as much as other sports. So I do want them to get their credit, and I'm happy that bargaining agreement happened, so they get a lot more money too. I'll let them be able to support their families and kids and husbands. So them be able to stay safe, stay out of legal trouble, make good decisions, have a great season this year, and just show everybody what they're made of. But we live with nothing without you. So much chase our dreams. For me, as YouTube, I was also chase our dreams. And thank you for allowing us to watch this first round. We're gonna watch second and third round when it's right. And literally over nothing without you. Probably gonna be tomorrow. Just show us how good life can get for us and our family. Show me, live you. Show me. I love y'all, man. Hey, Jesus love y'all. We got more videos today. Shout out everybody in WNBA. More videos today. I love y'all.